Chapter 3746. Although the Divine King realm didn't have a heaven-defying elixir like the Fortune elixir that the Divine Spirit realm took, there were still some elixirs that every Divine King would fight to get. The Emperor Ascension elixir was definitely one of the best elixirs. After all, the Emperor Ascension elixir wouldn't increase the cultivation of a Divine King. Even so, Divine Kings would still fight to get it. Why? Because the Emperor Ascension elixir could directly eliminate the bottleneck of a higher Divine King breaking through to a lower Divine Emperor. Even if the cultivation technique was only at the Divine King level, as long as the cultivation reached a certain level, the bottleneck could be ignored and the bottleneck could be broken through. To put it bluntly, the Emperor Ascension elixir was equivalent to a passport to the Divine Emperor realm. According to Duan Lingtian's knowledge, the Emperor Ascension elixir was extremely difficult to refine. Even some Emperor God level forces might not be able to produce one in 100 years. The Tianlong clan had produced 10 Emperor Ascension elixirs in the Hidden Dragon competition that was held once every 100 years. The Tianlong clan actually has a divine alchemist who could refine 10 Emperor Ascension elixirs in 100 years? Duan Lingtian looked at Linghu Renjie and asked in surprise. Linghu Renjie smiled and said, "The Tianlong clan's old clan leader was extremely obsessed with alchemy when he was still the Tianlong clan's clan leader. Later, when he stepped down and became the Grand Elder of the Tianlong clan, he no longer had to deal with the trivial matters of the Tianlong clan and had more time to study the art of alchemy. 1,000 years ago he had a great breakthrough in alchemy. Not only did his success rate of refining Emperor-grade divine elixirs is astonishing, but he even refined an Emperor-grade divine elixir. After that, he became famous in Tunglung province. Even the top Emperor God level forces in Tunglung province sent people to invite him over many times and made all kinds of promises. The Emperor Ascension elixir is also an Emperor-grade divine elixir. 4 ordinary divine alchemists in Tunglung province, the success rate is pathetically low, but for him it's not difficult." Hearing Linghu Renjie's words, Duan Lingtian suddenly realized that there was such a reason. The reason why he was puzzled was because even though the Sky Dragon sect was a God Emperor level force, it was a force without a single God Emperor expert in the current generation. It was just that a God Emperor expert had appeared before. In Tunglung province, there were many God level forces like the Tianlong clan. Was the Tianlong clan level God level forces like the Tianlong clan's level forces like the Tianlong clan? T's level forces was. Moreover, it was also a God level sect in Tunglung province. Under normal circumstances, a God Emperor level force like the Sky Dragon sect, which didn't have any God Emperor experts, wouldn't have any good God Pill masters. A divine alchemist who could refine 10 Emperor Ascension elixirs in 100 years would be highly sought after by the top God level forces in Tunglung province. If I'm a divine alchemist now, the top God level forces in Tunglung province would definitely want me. No matter which God level force wants me, they'll definitely treat me well. I'll also be able to obtain a better cultivation environment and resources." Duan Lingtian shook his head inwardly when he thought about this. When he was in the mundane realm, he was skilled in the Tao of alchemy. When he ascended to the Devata realms, he began to refine pills. However, as he was busy with his cultivation and had many things to do, he gradually put it aside. As for how to refine pills in the realms of gods, Duan Lingtian did not know much about it. Perhaps he could learn more about it and start a side business? If he wasn't careful, he might really be able to take a shortcut and head to those more powerful forces with a deeper foundation. Duan Lingtian, think about it and tell me what you think. No matter what you choose, I'll respect your decision. Linghu Renjie said with a smile. Moreover, I believe with your innate talent and comprehension, you'll be able to enter the Divine Emperor stage even without the Emperor Ascension elixir. Moreover, even if you join the Tianlong clan now, you'll still have a chance to obtain the Emperor Ascension elixir through other channels in the Tianlong clan. It's just a matter of time, Linghu Renjie said. Sect leader, I think it's better for me to wait for another 20 years before I participate in the Hidden Dragon Grand competition held by the Tianlong clan. Duan Lingtian made his decision in front of Linghu Renjie. Have you made up your mind? Linghu Renjie asked as he heaved a sigh of relief inwardly. In fact, from his personal point of view, he hoped that Duan Lingtian would not be reckless. With such a good opportunity to obtain the Emperor Ascension elixir, it was best not to miss it. As for whether Duan Lingtian would be able to enter the top 10 in the Hidden Dragon Grand competition, he did not doubt it at all. Not to mention that in 20 years, Duan Lingtian's strength would increase by another level. Even if Duan Lingtian participated in the Hidden Dragon Grand competition, there was no doubt that he would enter the top 10. It had to be known that the two top 5 core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect had died under Duan Lingtian's strength. If Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao had participated in the Hidden Dragon Grand competition, they might not have had a chance to enter the top 10. However, if Shangguan Xiongfeng wanted to enter the top 30 and Long Xiao wanted to enter the top 50, it would not have been a problem. However, these two people had been killed by Duan Lingtian with a single sword strike. Although there were suspicions that Duan Lingtian had relied on the advantage of the divine weapon, he had not used his full strength at that time. If Duan Lingtian had grasped the sword Dao, even if it was only a middle-grade divine sword, it would have been enough for him to display an even more powerful attack. I've made up my mind. Duan Lingtian nodded. At the same time, he took out the high-grade divine sword he had used to kill Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao from his storage ring and returned it to Linghu Renjia. Sect leader, it was thanks to your divine sword that we were able to kill them this time. Linghu Renjia took back the divine sword and shook his head with a smile. I lent you this divine sword in hopes that you would not expose your sword Dao. Even without this divine sword, your sword Dao would have been enough to easily kill them. If it were an ordinary divine weapon, Linghu Renjia would have definitely given it to Duan Lingtian. However, this was a high-grade divine weapon. Even their Linghu family only had a few, so it was naturally inconvenient for him to give it to Duan Lingtian. However, he did not know that Duan Lingtian did not lack high-grade divine weapons at all. There was even a high-grade divine weapon hidden within Duan Lingtian's body. Moreover, it was a high-grade divine weapon with an artifact soul. Duan Lingtian, the Hidden Dragon Grand competition that is held every 100 years by the Tianlong clan. I have confidence in you. There is no doubt that you will enter the top 10. If you can enter the top 3, you might be able to obtain a high-grade divine weapon. After Linghu Renjia put away the high-grade divine sword in his hand, he said to Duan Lingtian with a smile, you won't feel any pressure from being in the top 10, but it won't be that easy to be in the top 3. With the strength you have displayed so far, even if you use your sword Dao, it is almost impossible for you to enter the top 3. In the Hidden Dragon Grand competition, one cannot use divine weapons or other external forces. Moreover, even if you can use divine weapons, I can lend you a high-grade divine weapon. Others can similarly borrow high-grade divine weapons from others. Therefore, you still have to work harder in your cultivation from now on and strive to enter the realm of Middle Divine King. You must not place too much importance on the improvement that divine weapons can bring you. That would instead fall into a disadvantageous position. As Linghu Renjia finished speaking, he had already intentionally reminded Duan Lingtian. He was deeply afraid that Duan Lingtian would always think of relying on divine weapons and thus affect his cultivation. Patriarch, don't worry. I understand this principle. However, there was no need for Linghu Renjia to say these principles. Duan Lingtian also understood in his heart. He was not some flower in a greenhouse. He had risen all the way from the mundane realm to here through his own efforts, one step at a time. Linghu Renjia nodded his head in satisfaction. Then he said to Duan Lingtian, since you have made your choice, then in the next 20 years, our Linghu family will do our best to help you enter the realm of Middle Divine King. As for the laws of space, I will also think of a way for you. As Duan Lingtian expressed his thanks, Linghu Renjia floated away. Young master. After Linghu Renjia left, the elderly butler walked forward and respectfully bowed to Duan Lingtian. My name is Wang Fu. I am the butler that the patriarch has arranged for you. In the next 20 years, I will be in charge of your meals and lodging. Then I will have to trouble Uncle Fu in the future. Duan Lingtian smiled at Wang Fu. Then he nodded to the servants behind Wang Fu. Finally, he called out to Wang Fu and had him lead him to his room. As the master of this mansion, Duan Lingtian's room took up almost half of the entire building. In addition to a large bed, there were many tables and pearls on the tables. Young master, these are the floating image pearls that the patriarch has prepared for you. Without exception, they have all recorded the battle between experts who are proficient in the laws of space and above. When Duan Lingtian entered the room and his gaze was attracted by the pearls on the table, Wang Fu's voice sounded in a timely manner. When Duan Lingtian heard this, his originally calm gaze trembled slightly. His heart was filled with gratitude. The patriarch is very considerate. With a sigh, Duan Lingtian took out Linghu Renjia's soul pearl and transmitted his thanks. These floating image pearls are the collection of our Linghu family. I hope that they will be useful to you. Speaking of which, these things are far inferior to the divine fruits that allow one to comprehend the laws of space after consumption, as well as the law steels carved by experts who have comprehended the laws of space to a certain extent. Linghu Renjia transmitted, our Linghu family does have 2 law rooms that contain the laws of space. However, they are only ordinary law rooms. Given your comprehension of the laws of space, they will not be of any use to you. Given your current attainments in the laws of space, most of the law rooms in Tunglung province that are owned by God Emperors will not be of any use to you. Next, I will keep an eye out for the divine fruits of the laws of space and law steels left behind by experts who have fused 4 or more profundities of the laws of space. Chapter 3747. Since the Devata realms had their own secret chambers, it was only natural for the realms of gods to have them as well. Not long after arriving at the mystic Handle land in the realms of gods, Duan Lingtian learned that there were secret chambers of laws in the realms of gods. Moreover, the secret chambers were divided into several grades. The secret chambers of laws were formed by formations. Moreover, the formations were not difficult to set up. They were very basic formations. However, most of the secret chambers of laws had to be built on a divine stone mine. A certain amount of divine stones was required to use the secret chambers. The grade of the divine stone mine also determined the grade of the secret chamber. Naturally, there was another type of secret chamber that did not need to be built on a divine stone mine. It could be set up with divine stones. This sort of law chamber was also the lowest level law chamber. For example, the secret chamber of laws in the Tidal Temple's main temple that Duan Lingtian had visited before he came to the realms of gods was one of these secret chambers. However, these secret chambers could only help a person comprehend all the profundities of a law to the mastery stage. Moreover, it required a lot of divine stones. Even an ordinary godly king-level faction could only allow their core members to use this sort of law chamber to increase their comprehension of laws. Only God-king forces with a strong foundation could allow most of their core members to enter these secret chambers. The secret chambers of laws that allowed one to comprehend the fusion of 2 profundities of a law could only be built on divine stone mines controlled by God Emperor forces. Moreover, the price to pay was not small. Every time one stayed in the secret chambers, a certain amount of divine stones would be consumed. Therefore, in a God Emperor force, very few people were allowed to enter the secret chambers to comprehend the profundities of a law. Those who were allowed to enter were those who were specially rewarded by the God Emperor force. As for the core members of a God Emperor force, they did not need to use these secret chambers. For example, the secret chambers of laws in the Linghu family, such as the patriarch of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjia, and many other core members of the Linghu family were not allowed to use them. Whether it was the elders of the Linghu family or the disciples of the Linghu family, they had to obtain permission from the Linghu family before they could use the secret chambers. If one barged in without permission, they would be sentenced to death. And from what Linghu Renjia had said, as long as Duan Lingtian needed the Linghu family's law chamber, the Linghu family could give it to Duan Lingtian unconditionally. Thank you, sect leader. Through Linghu Renjia's tone, Duan Lingtian could tell that Linghu Renjia wasn't just joking. Young master, if there's anything you need, just send me a message through my soul orb. I'll do it for you as soon as possible. After housekeeper Wang Fu gave his soul orb to Duan Lingtian, he respectfully left the room. Young master, I won't disturb you any further. After Wang Fu left, he closed the door behind him. As for Duan Lingtian, he didn't cultivate. Instead, he casually picked up the closest floating image pearl and poured his divine power into it. Immediately, a clear image appeared in front of him. Within the floating image pearl was a vast plain. 2 figures were fighting, and one of them was skilled in the space laws. Moreover, this person's attainments in the space laws weren't low. He had comprehended the fusion of many different space laws' 3 profound meanings. Moreover, there were some fusion of 3 profound meanings that Duan Lingtian hadn't fused. Thus, Duan Lingtian watched with great interest. When Duan Lingtian returned to the Linghu family with the Heng and Huan patriarchs, a piece of news spread through the Hidden Fog sect, alarming all the Hidden Fog sect disciples. Core disciple Duan Lingtian had left the Hidden Fog sect and joined the Linghu family. As soon as this news spread out, it caused a great sensation. After all, it hadn't been too long since Duan Lingtian was taken away by the Linghu family's Heng and Huan patriarchs. There weren't many people who knew about this yet. After this news spread, the entire Hidden Fog sect couldn't help but curse. That Duan Lingtian is actually so ungrateful? I heard that after Duan Lingtian killed fellow core disciples senior apprentice brother Shangguan Xiongfeng and senior apprentice brother Long Xiao, because of his talent and perception, Elder Feng and Elder Lei cherished him and couldn't bear to kill him. But they never imagined that not only was he ungrateful, but he even betrayed the sect and joined the Linghu family. That Duan Lingtian is too hateful. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability, otherwise I would have helped the sect eliminate this ungrateful brat. From top to bottom, the entire Hidden Fog sect was cursing Duanling Tian for being ungrateful. And the reason why they were cursing Duanling Tian was because someone was secretly adding fuel to the fire. Moreover, it was the Hidden Fog sect master, Qianyin, who had personally issued the order. As the Hidden Fog sect master, he could only watch helplessly as the person who had killed 2 core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect came out unscathed and left the Hidden Fog sect to join another divine emperor-level influence. How could Qianyin not be angry? However, he had been suppressing the anger in his heart. It was only now that he vented it out in such a manner. The public news was that Duanling Tian had left the Hidden Fog sect and joined the Linghu family. But behind the scenes, Duanling Tian had been slandered. By doing this, even if Duanling Tian had some great background in the future and wanted to settle accounts with him, he wouldn't be blamed on Qianyin. Duanling Tian actually left the Hidden Fog sect? Duanling Tian left the Hidden Fog sect and went to the Linghu family. This matter must be reported immediately. After the spies the 10,000 Demon sect placed in the Hidden Fog sect learned of this news, they immediately sent a message back to the 10,000 Demon sect. For a time, the 10,000 Demon sect elders in charge of contacting them also received the news. Moreover, they immediately went to find the sect master of the 10,000 Demon sect, Lan Qing, and told him the news. After Lan Qing learned of this news, he was also stunned. Duanling Tian betrayed the Hidden Fog sect and went to the Linghu family? However, after regaining his composure, he went to the cultivation area of the 10,000 Demon sect's highest elder, Kuang Tianjing, and told the news to his martial uncle who had just returned from the Tianlong clan. Kuang Tianjing was an inner sect elder of the Tianlong clan, a middle divine emperor. The reason he returned this time was because of the death of his disciple, Chu Han. Until now he suspected that the death of his disciple, Chu Han, was related to the Hidden Fog sect's disciples, Duanling Tian and Wu Feng. He already knew that Wu Feng had returned to the Hidden Fog sect. He had been waiting for Duanling Tian to return so that he could find them and catch them all in one fell swoop. Today he finally received news that Duanling Tian had returned to the Hidden Fog sect. But soon after, his eyes brightened a little. But because of the following words of the 10,000 Demon sect master, they dimmed. Duanling Tian betrayed the Hidden Fog sect and went to the Linghu family? Kuang Tianjing's complexion wasn't too good. Because if this was the case, things would become complicated. He had to go to the Hidden Fog sect and also the Linghu family. But the Hidden Fog sect's 2 elders Feng and Lei didn't kill Duanling Tian after he killed their disciples? Moreover, Duanling Tian already had a grudge with the disciples of 2 elders Feng and Lei? And he left the Hidden Fog sect in order to avoid them and didn't return? When he returned this time, Long Xiao went to find him and he directly killed him? This Duanling Tian must have returned to the Hidden Fog sect prepared. After speculating for a while, Kuang Tianjing was almost certain of this. Perhaps the Linghu family followed him back to the Hidden Fog sect. To be able to bring someone back to the Hidden Fog sect with Duanling Tian right under the noses of elders Feng and Lei who had just lost their beloved disciple, it's either the Linghu clan's second young miss or the Heng and Huan elders. Between them, the chances of the Linghu family's second miss going back with him are higher. After all, Duanling Tian once pursued her daughter Linghu Chuyin in Monarch Descent City. Although she publicly stated that her daughter wouldn't marry, no one dares to say that she wouldn't change her mind because of Duanling Tian's talent and perception. As Kuang Tianjing spoke, whether it was the 10,000 Demon sect master Lan Qing or the 10,000 Demon sect's highest elder Du Zhan, both of them nodded. They felt that this deduction was reasonable and convincing. Of course, the reason why Kuang Tianjing made such a guess was because he didn't know enough about the Linghu family's second Mississippi. He also didn't know that Duanling Tian had never pursued Linghu Chuyin. However, his general guess was correct. Junior apprentice brother. After taking a deep breath, Kuang Tianjing looked at Du Zhan and said in a deep voice, "Help me make a trip to the Hidden Fog sect and bring that Wu Feng back. Wait for me to deal with him when I return. Tell the Hidden Fog sect that he is someone that I, Kuang Tianjing, want. I don't think they will stop a mere inner sect disciple. As for me, I will make a trip to the Linghu family. The Linghu family will definitely treat Duanling Tian as a treasure. If I don't go there myself, they won't hand over Duanling Tian." As Du Zhan responded, Kuang Tianjing's figure flashed and he disappeared from Du Zhan and Lan Qing's sight. He was clearly heading straight for the Linghu family. Seeing this, Du Zhan didn't hesitate. He left the 10,000 Demon sect and headed for the Hidden Fog sect. Whoosh! Kuang Tianjing used a Divine Emperor-level flying ship to rush over. He consumed a large number of divine stones and traveled at the speed of a high-level Divine Emperor. It didn't take long for him to arrive at Linghu City where the Linghu family was located. A Divine Emperor-level flying ship appeared outside the Linghu family's mansion. This naturally alarmed the Linghu family members patrolling the perimeter of the Linghu family. "Your Excellency is?" Seeing the person who flew out of the Divine Emperor-level flying ship, the leader of the Linghu family's patrol team didn't dare to slight him in the slightest. Someone who could own a Divine Emperor-level flying ship was definitely not an ordinary person. Even their Linghu family only had 2 Divine Emperor-level flying ships. One was controlled by the Linghu family's patriarch and the other was an elder. A Divine Emperor-level flying ship was extremely precious. At the same time, it also symbolized one's status. Tianlong clan's inner sect elder Kuang Tianjing. Facing the Linghu family's patrol elder's question, the old man who flew out of the flying ship indifferently stated his identity. Chapter 3748. The Linghu family's patrol elder had already guessed that Kuang Tianjing wasn't an ordinary person when he saw him arrive on a deity emperor-class spaceship. But when Kuang Tianjing revealed his identity, he couldn't help but be shocked. Tianlong clan? That was the God Emperor-class clan that the Linghu family was indirectly attached to. And the person in front of him was actually the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder? "Greetings, Lord Kuang Tianjing." The Linghu family's patrol elder led a group of Linghu family's patrol disciples behind him to salute Kuang Tianjing respectfully. He didn't suspect that the person in front of him was an imposter. No one dared to impersonate the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder because it was a matter of life and death. Moreover, the person in front of him had already used a deity emperor-class spaceship to prove his extraordinary identity. "Lord Kuang Tianjing, why have you come to our Linghu family?" The patrol elder asked curiously. "I'm looking for your Linghu family's patriarch, Linghu Renjia," Kuang Tianjing said indifferently. Kuang Tianjing was the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder. His status was so high that even Linghu Renjia, the patriarch of the Linghu family, came out to greet him as soon as he heard that he had come. The minimum requirement to become an inner sect elder of the Tianlong clan was a mid-level god emperor. Moreover, not every mid-level god emperor had the strength to become an inner sect elder of the Tianlong clan. Such an existence was considered respectable even in the Tianlong clan, let alone in the Linghu family. Therefore Linghu Renjia was very enthusiastic. "Elder Tianjing, please come in." After Linghu Renjia came out, he didn't ask why Kuang Tianjing was looking for him. He immediately invited him into the Linghu family's residence. The patrol elder didn't know who Kuang Tianjing was, but he knew very well. He was an inner sect elder of the Thousand Demon sect in the Tianlong clan. Before he joined the Tianlong clan he was a member of the Thousand Demon sect. Although he wasn't an enemy of the Linghu family, he was still a competitor in the Tianlong clan. Even so, he still didn't dare to be negligent. No matter what, he was a mid-level god emperor of the Linghu family. "No." Linghu Renjia's residence. He looked directly at Linghu Renjia and said, "Patriarch of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjia's residence, Linghu Renjia's is here." Obviously, Kuang Tian was ready to get straight to the point. "What is it?" Linghu Renjia looked at Kuang Tianjing in confusion. To be honest, he was also very surprised by Kuang Tianjing's arrival. He didn't know why the other party had come. But he knew that the other party couldn't have come to the Linghu family for no reason. As the saying goes, one doesn't visit a temple without a cause. "I'm here to borrow a person from patriarch of the Linghu family," Kuang Tianjing said to Linghu Renjia with a smile. "Borrow a person?" Linghu Renjia was stunned, then said with a wry smile, "Elder Tianjing, if you have something to say, just say it. I want to take Duan Ling Tian with me." Kuang Tianjing looked at Linghu Renjia's eyes and said bluntly, "Duan Ling Tian." If Kuang Tianjing had mentioned someone else's name, Linghu Renjia wouldn't have had much of a reaction. But now, Kuang Tianjing had mentioned Duan Ling Tian's name. Duan Ling Tian hadn't been in the Linghu family for long. It could be said that he hadn't even warmed up his seat yet. He had just arrived and now this Kuang Tianjing was asking for him? Was he asking for the Hidden Fog sect? However, Linghu Renjia thought it was impossible. The Hidden Fog sect and the 10,000 Demon sect had been enemies for a long time. Even within the Tianlong clan, the Hidden Fog sect and the 10,000 Demon sect were sworn enemies. It could be said that as long as there was a chance they would fight to the death with each other. In this situation, as an elder of the Tianlong clan from the 10,000 Demon sect, it was impossible for Kuang Tianjing to help the Hidden Fog sect. Elder Kuang Tianjing, may I ask why? After Linghu Renjia's expression froze, he asked Kuang Tianjing curiously. At the same time, he didn't forget to send a message to Duan Lingtian. He also asked, Duan Lingtian, why would the 10,000 demon sect's Tianlong clan elder Kuang Tianjing suddenly look for me and say that he wants to borrow you? After receiving Linghu Renjia's message, Duan Lingtian guessed Kuang Tianjing's intentions. This was because he knew who Kuang Tianjing was. He was Chu Han's honorable master, the one he had killed in the divine manner left behind by divine Emperor Qin Wu. He was also Du Qinjuan's grandfather and the senior apprentice brother of the 10,000 demon sect's highest elder, patriarch. Duan Lingtian didn't plan on hiding this matter from Linghu Renjia. After all, if he did, Linghu Renjia wouldn't take this matter seriously and would directly hand him over. Although Kuang Tianjing wasn't sure if he was the one who killed Chu Han, who knew if Kuang Tianjing wouldn't kill him with the thought of killing 1,000 by mistake is better than letting one? Therefore, Duan Lingtian told Linghu Renjia that he had killed Chu Han. What? You killed Kuang Tianjing's disciple, Chu Han? As far as I know, Chu Han was his youngest disciple. Moreover, it is said that he viewed Chu Han as his own grandson. Linghu Renjia was frightened by Duan Lingtian's words. He never imagined that Duan Lingtian would be so valiant. Not only did he kill the disciple of the Hidden Fog sect's Old Feng and Old Lei, but before that he had even killed the most beloved disciple of the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder, Kuang Tianjing. This Kuang Tianjing wasn't someone that the Hidden Fog sect's Old Feng and Old Lei could compare with. He was a middle divine emperor. If he attacked alone, even if the Hidden Fog sect's 4 strongest highest elders attacked together, they still might not be his match. Even if the several elders of the Linghu family, including Old Heng and Old Feng and himself, were added together, they would at most be able to fight to a draw with Kuang Tianjing. There was no other way. In that situation, either he died or we died, Duan Lingtian said. But after hearing Duan Lingtian say this, Linghu Renjia didn't ask any more questions. This was because he could understand. If he were in that situation, he would also kill Chu Han. You just stay here. I'll deal with him. As Linghu Renjia finished communicating with Duan Lingtian, Kuang Tianjing hesitated for a moment. Then he finally answered Kuang Tianjing's question. I came to ask Patriarch Linghu for Duan Lingtian because he might be related to the death of my disciple, Chu Han. I looked for him because I wanted to know from him if he knew how my disciple died. Although this was what Kuang Tianjing said, an imperceptible cold light flashed in the depths of his eyes. When he learned that Duan Lingtian had killed Shengguan Xiongfeng in Longshao, Kuang Tianjing was almost certain. His disciple, Chu Han, was most likely killed by Duan Lingtian. Therefore he had come this time with the intention of killing Duan Lingtian. As long as the Linghu family handed over Chu Han, he would leave the Linghu family with his men and kill Chu Han. If Linghu Renjia hadn't heard this from Duan Lingtian, he might not have noticed the cold light in the depths of Kuang Tianjing's eyes. But now he clearly saw the cold light in Kuang Tianjing's eyes. Elder Tianjing, if you want to know, why don't I help you ask Duan Lingtian? Linghu Renjia smiled faintly. Without waiting for Kuang Tianjing's refusal, he pretended to be absent-minded, as if he were transmitting a message. At this time he pretended not to hear anything Kuang Tianjing said. After a while, Linghu Renjia came back to his senses and said to Kuang Tianjing, Elder Tianjing, I asked Duan Lingtian, and he said he didn't know your disciple. Elder Tianjing, are you mistaken? Patriarch Linghu, you should call him out and talk to him face to face. As Kuang Tianjing spoke, he glanced at the Linghu family's residence. There was a faint trace of fear in the depths of his eyes. The Linghu family had once produced an extremely monstrous array master. He had arranged a guardian array around the Linghu family, and by relying on the power of the array formation, he had killed 3 lower god emperors who had joined forces to attack them. Moreover, they hadn't been ordinary lower god emperors. It was said that once the Linghu family's guardian array formation was activated, even a middle god emperor would be severely wounded. It could even injure a higher god emperor. If it weren't for this, he would have already rushed into the Linghu family and forcefully captured Duan Lingtian. It had to be known that this was how he had planned to go to the Hidden Fog sect and capture Duan Lingtian. Even if the Hidden Fog sect and the 10,000 Demon sect were enemies, he didn't have any misgivings. This was because with his strength, he could disregard the several grand elders of the Hidden Fog sect. At the same time, the Hidden Fog sect's guardian array formation wasn't enough to stop him. The Hidden Fog sect had never produced an existence skilled in array formations. In fact, array formations were their weakness. Even the 10,000 demon sect's guardian array formation was stronger than the hidden fog sects. Elder Tianjing, it hasn't been convenient for Duan Ling Tian to leave recently. Linghu Renjia faintly smiled and said, I presume you know what happened to him in the hidden fog sect? I am worried that there are people from the hidden fog sect lurking outside our Linghu family's mansion. They might ambush him at any moment. Just as Kuang Tianzheng was about to proudly say something, Linghu Renjia continued, Moreover, before my second sister left, he made a heart demon blood oath in front of her. He said that before the Tianlong clan held the Hidden Dragon Grand competition, he would not take a single step out of the Linghu family. So he can't come out. Elder Tianjing, if you really want to see him, how about following me into the mansion? Linghu Renjia asked with a smile. As Linghu Renjia's voice fell, Kuang Tianjing's complexion immediately turned ugly. He naturally didn't believe Linghu Renjia's words. But what could he say? Could he say that Linghu Renjia had hurriedly made a heart demon blood oath and said that he wasn't lying to him? Although Linghu Renjia was only a lower divine emperor and he could easily kill him, behind Linghu Renjia was the Linghu family. He was part of the Tianlong clan's Linghu family. In the Tianlong clan, one of the best members of the Linghu family was Linghu Renjia's grandfather. That grandfather's status in the Tianlong clan was even higher than his own. Then I'll have to bother you. Although Kuang Tianzheng dreaded the Linghu family's protective array formation, he still wanted to see Duan Ling Tian. Even if he couldn't kill him today, he still wanted to confirm some things. Of course, in his heart, regardless of whether or not his disciple Chu Han's death was related to Duan Ling Tian, he didn't plan on letting Duan Ling Tian go. He would rather kill the wrong person than let him go. Senior apprentice brother Wu Feng. As Kuang Tianjing followed Linghu Renjia into the Linghu family's mansion, Duan Ling Tian had already sent a message to Wu Feng in the distant Hidden Fog sect. A moment ago he was relieved to see that Wu Feng's soul bead was intact. Chapter 3749. Junior Apprentice Brother Duan? After receiving Duan Ling Tian's message, Wu Feng was a bit surprised. However, when Duan Ling Tian told Wu Feng that the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder, Kuang Tianjing, had come looking for him, Wu Feng's complexion changed. Since they found me, they must have found you as well. I estimate that senior apprentice brother Wu Feng called me by my surname, so they guessed that the person with you was me. I have the protection of the Linghu family head, so there shouldn't be any problems. But, senior apprentice brother Wu Feng, the Hidden Fog sect might not be able to protect you. Before coming to the Linghu family, Duan Ling Tian had heard Wu Feng mention many things about the Linghu family. Wu Feng had also compared the Linghu family with the Hidden Fog sect. Both had their own merits. However, in terms of sect protecting array formations, the Linghu family was stronger and much stronger. The Hidden Fog sect couldn't stop a middle divine emperor. Let alone a middle divine emperor. Even the last time Duan Ling Tian left with the Linghu family's old men Heng and Huan, the Hidden Fog sect couldn't stop them. For instance, Wu Feng was only an inner sect disciple. In front of an inner sect elder like Kuang Tianjing of the Tianlong clan, it was hard to say whether or not the Hidden Fog sect would protect him. With the Hidden Fog sect's half-baked sect protecting array formations, even if they wanted to protect him, they wouldn't be able to. So if possible, senior apprentice brother Wu Feng, I advise you to leave the Hidden Fog sect. Duan Ling Tian advised Wu Feng as he said, how about you come to the Linghu family? I can ask the Linghu family head to recommend you. He had always been grateful to Wu Feng. After all, if it weren't for Wu Feng bringing him to the divine abode left behind by divine Emperor Qin Wu, he wouldn't have obtained anything. Junior apprentice brother Duan, I appreciate your good intentions. And on Wu Feng's side there was soon a response. I will immediately leave the Hidden Fog sect. But after this I cannot go to the Linghu family. I am a native of the Profound Handle land and I have my own family. I plan to return to my family and lead them to move. If that Tianlong clan inner sect elder can't find me, he'll definitely follow the clues and find my clan. I have to take the first step and move with my clan. In the future, junior brother Duan, if you need my help, feel free to send me a message. As long as it's within my power, I won't refuse. After Wu Feng finished his transmission, there was no response. Clearly he was busy. Duan Ling Tian. Just as he ended his communication with Wu Feng, Duan Ling Tian received another message. It was from the head of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjia. Duan Ling Tian, Kuang Tianjing insisted on seeing you. I brought him into the family mansion. Come to the main hall for a moment. Don't worry. I will control our Linghu family's great sect protecting array to protect you. Even if that Kuang Tianjing attacks you, he won't be able to kill you. As Linghu Renjie finished speaking, he deliberately comforted Duan Lingtian. Come here. Just give him a perfunctory reply. Linghu Renjie added. All right. Duan Lingtian responded. Then he left the room, leaving the mansion that Linghu Renjie had arranged for him. Then he went straight to the main hall. In the main hall, Linghu Renjie stood there. And not too far in front of Linghu Renjie was an old man. This old man had a medium build, white hair, and a ruddy complexion. He looked extremely ordinary, but Duan Lingtian knew that this was restraint. Moreover, this sort of restraint was rare for ordinary people. Only when one's cultivation reached a certain level could they achieve this. Patriarch. Duan Lingtian greeted Linghu Renjie as he walked into the main hall. In the blink of an eye, he was near Linghu Renjie and the old man in front of him. Duan Lingtian. Linghu Renjie returned the greeting with a smile. Then he took a few steps forward and stood in front of Duan Lingtian. He stood between Duan Lingtian and the old man. Then with his back facing the old man he introduced, "This is the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder, Elder Kuang Tianjing." Elder Kuang Tianjing used to be a disciple of the Thousand Demons sect. Later he joined the Tianlong clan and rose through the ranks. He is a prominent figure of the Thousand Demons sect in the Tianlong clan. After Linghu Renjie finished his introduction, he turned to look at Kuang Tianjing. Elder Tianjing, I don't think I need to introduce Duan Lingtian, right? At the same time, Duan Lingtian nodded at the old man as a form of greeting. Duan Lingtian. Kuang Tianjing's eyes were like lightning as he looked at Duan Lingtian. He asked in a deep voice, I heard my junior apprentice brother Du Zhan's grandson Du Qinjun say that before my disciple Chu Han died, the last people he came into contact with were you and that hidden fog sect disciple Wu Feng? Duan Lingtian heard this. Although he knew what was going on, his face was still filled with confusion. Elder Tianjing, what are you talking about? How come I don't understand? Your disciple Chu Han? I've never heard of him, nor do I know him. Did you mistake him for someone else? The confusion on Duan Lingtian's face caused Kuang Tianjing to frown. If it weren't for the fact that he was 100% sure that the person beside Wu Feng was Duan Lingtian, then he might have been fooled by Duan Lingtian. He knew that it was impossible to see any clues from Duan Lingtian's expression. Duan Lingtian was clearly an expert in this field. Duan Lingtian, my disciple Chu Han, you were the one who killed him, right? Kuang Tianjing asked once more. Moreover, this was the most sensitive question. Even Linghu Renjie's expression changed drastically. Immediately his right hand shook the void. Immediately, a layer of light appeared in front of him, Duan Lingtian and Kuang Tianjing. The Linghu family's protective array formation formed a defensive barrier in front of Duan Lingtian and Linghu Renjie, separating them from Kuang Tianjing. At this moment, Duan Lingtian felt an absolute sense of security as he looked at the translucent light barrier in front of him. He had heard about the Linghu clan's great protective array from Wu Feng. He knew how strong the great protective array was. It could kill low-level divine emperors with the power of the great protective array. Ordinary low-level divine emperors couldn't even break through the great protective array. A mid-level divine emperor couldn't break through the great protective array. Ordinary high-level divine emperors couldn't break through it. Linghu family head, you're too careful. Kuang Tianjing looked deeply at Linghu Renjie and said in a low voice. Although Kuang Tianjing looked calm on the surface, his heart was filled with anger and helplessness. He was angry at Linghu Renjie for being so careful and helpless against the protective array formation in front of him. Just now, as soon as he finished speaking, he was ready to kill Duan Lingtian. He didn't expect Linghu Renjie to react so quickly. When his consciousness probingly landed on the formation canopy in front of him, he discovered that with his strength, it would be impossible for him to completely break through the formation canopy. Therefore he didn't make a move in the end. Elder Tianjing, you told me that you only came to ask Duan Lingtian a few questions. Linghu Renjie looked at Kuang Tianjing, a trace of dissatisfaction appearing in his eyes. His tone also became much lower. I believe in your sincerity, that's why I allowed you to see Duan Lingtian. I'm sorry, but because I thought of my disciple Chu Han who died in vain, I couldn't help but be a bit agitated. Kuang Tianjing restrained the divine power he was accumulating. Although he was apologizing, his tone was frivolous and casual, without the slightest bit of sincerity. Then he looked deeply at Duan Lingtian and said, Duan Lingtian, it's best if you have nothing to do with the death of my disciple Chu Han. Otherwise, whether it is the hidden fog sect or the Linghu family behind you, none of them will be able to protect you. After leaving behind these ruthless words, Kuang Tianjing turned and left. When he turned and left, one could feel the divine power on his body surface again, like a surging flame that was constantly roaming on the surface of his body. I heard that you plan to participate in our Tianlong clan's Hidden Dragon Grand Competition, in 20 years. We will meet again at that time. These were the last words Kuang Tianjing said before he walked out of the main hall and flew away. However, from beginning to end, Duan Lingtian's expression was calm. He was not affected by Kuang Tianjing's ruthless words at all. To him, Kuang Tianjing was just a small stumbling block on his path to the profound Handle land. If he couldn't even cross this small stumbling block, how could he talk about rescuing his wife Ke 300 years later? Of course, if Ling Huchuin was Ke, he also needed to have enough strength to obtain the recognition of the Xia family behind Ke. Perhaps Ke didn't care about this. However, as a man he cared a lot about this. Duan Lingtian. Linghu Renjia couldn't help but bitterly smile. Now, not only have you offended the Hidden Fog sect's elders Feng and Lei, but even this Kuang Tianjing wants to kill you. Before you go to the Tianlong clan you have to be careful. It's best if you don't take half a step away from our Linghu family's residence. After saying this, Linghu Renjia's bitter smile disappeared and was replaced with a solemn and dignified expression. I understand. Duan Lingtian nodded. He understood this principle, so he naturally wouldn't foolishly send himself to his death. He had already thought about it. If he were elders Feng and Lei he definitely wouldn't be willing. He would definitely come to Linghu City and wait for an opportunity to attack him. Of course, the possibility of elders Feng and Lei directly killing him was very low, unless they completely ignored the Hidden Fog sect. Otherwise, before they confirmed whether or not he had an amazing background, they absolutely wouldn't kill him. Just like in the Hidden Fog sect, elders Feng and Lei didn't attack him because they were afraid of the amazing background behind him. Otherwise they would have killed him as soon as they saw him. As for that Kuang Tianjing, he clearly didn't have so many misgivings. As long as Kuang Tianjing found an opportunity, he would likely kill him directly. With Kuang Tianjing's attitude just now, it was clear that he would rather kill the wrong person than let him go. I never thought that before I even entered the Tianlong clan, I would make such an enemy, Duan Lingtian sighed in his heart. However, even without such an enemy, the Hidden Fog sect of the Tianlong clan would still view me as a thorn in their side. Within the Tianlong clan, those from the Linghu family, the Hidden Fog sect, and the 10,000 Demon sect had all gathered together. They were all on the same side as their previous families and sections. What? Wu Feng ran away? Not long after leaving the Linghu family and returning to the 10,000 Demon sect, Kuang Tianjing received a message from Du Zhan. He was so angry that his face flushed red and he spat out a mouthful of blood. At this moment his intestines turned green with regret. Damn it. It must have been that Duan Lingtian who leaked the information. Chapter 3750. Before Kuang Tianjing left, he went to the Linghu family and had his junior apprentice brother Du Zhan go to the Hidden Fog sect. Because he was so eager to take revenge for his disciple Mo Han, he didn't think too much about many things. Or it could be said that at that time, all he thought about was how Duan Lingtian had killed the disciples of the Hidden Fog sect's Old Man Feng and Old Man Lei, Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. Whether it was Shangguan Xiongfeng or Long Xiao, they were top 5 core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect. Kuang Tianjing had more or less heard of them. He knew that they were middle god kings and their strength surpassed many high god kings. But Duan Lingtian had just become a lower god king and yet he was able to kill them. With Duan Lingtian's methods, even if he hadn't broken through to the god king realm, it wouldn't be too difficult for him to kill his disciple Chu Han. Thus, when he left the 10,000 Demon sect and went to the Linghu family, all his thoughts were on Duan Lingtian. He didn't even think about how he was able to travel at the speed of a lower god emperor on a god emperor level flying ship. Compared to his junior apprentice brother Du Zhan, who was a lower god emperor, he was much faster. In fact, when he arrived at the Linghu family and Duan Lingtian saw him, his junior apprentice brother Du Zhan hadn't even arrived at the Hidden Fog sect. Senior apprentice brother, I was too slow. After Du Zhan returned to the 10,000 Demon sect, his face was filled with regret. It has nothing to do with you. Although Kuang Tianjing was enraged, he didn't lose his reason. He waved his hand and said, I didn't calculate the time well and gave that Duan Lingtian a chance to inform Wu Feng. However, although Wu Feng ran away, we can confirm that the Wu Yishan and the so-called junior apprentice brother Duan, that Chen Jun spoke of are the two of them. Duan Lingtian's strength is much stronger than what we knew. To be able to kill Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Shao, disciples of the hidden fog sect's Old Man Wind and Thunder with a lower God King cultivation, that means he can jump 2 cultivation boundaries to fight and kill enemies. With his abilities before he became a lower Divine King, he could have easily killed my disciple, Chu Han. Chu Han was most likely killed by him. As he spoke, Kuang Tianjing took a deep breath and calmed down a little. However, there's no rush for now. According to what that Linghu Renjia said, that Duan Ling Tian plans to participate in the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition that our Tianlong clan will hold in 20 years. And the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition is only open to new disciples who have just passed the test and entered the sect. Since he will enter the Tianlong clan sooner or later, then I will wait for him in the Tianlong clan. I won't wait for him to grow up. Once he reaches the Tianlong clan, I'll make arrangements to kill him. Kuang Tianjing's eyes were filled with killing intent. This time there's no chance to kill him in the Linghu family? Du Zhan asked. Then he added, that Duan Lingtian's talent and perception are too monstrous. I feel that if we can kill him as soon as possible, it's better to do so. Although he had never seen the Duan Lingtian before, he had heard of him. It was enough for him to know just how monstrous and heaven-defying the other party was. I do want to kill him, Kuang Tianjing said in a low voice. But that Linghu Renjia protected him to the death. In fact, when I wanted to kill him, that Linghu Renjia even activated the Linghu family's protective array. A defensive barrier fell from the sky, separating me from that Duan Lingtian. As Kuang Tianjing spoke, he gnashed his teeth. That Linghu Renjia is clearly relying on the fact that his grandfather is the Tianlong clan's White Dragon Elder. That's why he dares to act so presumptuously in front of me. White Dragon Elder. Hearing Kuang Tianjing's words, Du Zhan couldn't help but inwardly suck in a breath of cold air. The Tianlong clan's White Dragon Elder was almost equal to their myriad demon sect. There was also the Hidden Fog sect's core elder. They were all outstanding middle-level divine emperors, and their status in the Tianlong clan was also very high. As for their myriad demon sect, of all the people who had entered the Tianlong clan, the one who had done the best was the White Dragon Elder. Currently, their myriad demon sect had a senior who was the Tianlong clan's White Dragon Elder. It was extremely difficult for them to advance any further. Junior brother. Kuang Tianjing looked at Du Zhan and changed the topic. Previously, I heard from Lan Qing that Duan Ling Tian came from a Devata realm and doesn't have any background in the Mystic Star Land. However, Wu Feng has a clan behind him. Based on the current situation, it's meaningless for me to stay here. I'll return to the sect and continue arranging the marriages of my disciples. Wu Feng's clan has most likely been moved away by him. However, it's best if you go and take a look. If he didn't manage to move his clan in time, you can use his clan to threaten him and kill him. Kuang Tianjing said. Don't worry, senior brother. Du Zhan said confidently, even if he moved his clan away, I'll do my best to find them. If I capture him, I'll personally send him to the Tianlong clan for senior brother to deal with. Upon hearing Du Zhan's words, Kuang Tianjing nodded and smiled. Then I'll have to trouble you, junior brother. The marriage between my second disciple and vice sect leader Shue's daughter should be held within 3 years. At that time, I'll send you and Lan Qing an invitation in advance. At that time, you can bring Pejun and Qianjun along. As soon as Kuang Tianjing finished speaking, he left. After Kuang Tianjing left, Du Zhan was still in a state of excitement. Vice sect leader Shue. He's the vice sect leader of the Tianlong clan. His position is so high that Elder Bai Long can't compare to him. It seems like our myriad demon sect strength has increased greatly in the Tianlong clan. We'll be able to suppress the Hidden Fog sect in one fell swoop. After a long while, Du Zhan finally calmed down. At the same time, he went to look for Lan Qing, the sect leader of the myriad demon sect, to ask him about Wu Feng's clan, the Linghu family. Ever since Duan Ling Tian came to the Linghu family, the Linghu family's patriarch, Linghu Renjia, took great care of him. As long as it was within Linghu Renjia's power, he would grant Duan Lingtian's request. Under these circumstances, not only did Duan Lingtian recognize Linghu Renjia as a person, but he also recognized Linghu Renjia as the leader of the Linghu family. For the next period of time, Duan Lingtian stayed in his residence to cultivate. However, even with the help of various divine pills and spirit fruits, his progress was still slow. He felt that it was extremely difficult to increase his cultivation in the Divine King realm. Under such circumstances, Duan Lingtian, who was bored, continued to study the law of space through the supreme powerhouse divinity. At the same time, he began to read books. The books were readily available in the Linghu family's library. Linghu Renjie had given Duan Lingtian a high level of clearance. As long as it was not a secret of the Linghu family, he could borrow it. There are so many things to pay attention to when refining divine pills. Duan Lingtian's main focus was on the pill refinement methods of divine alchemists in the realms of gods. What he had learned so far was only superficial. For example, when refining pills, divine pill masters had to rely on the law of fire to fuse their divine energy into the flames. Moreover, they had to control the intensity of the flames. This was similar to the alchemy methods in the Devata realms. However, as Duan Lingtian continued to read, he learned more. As it turned out, controlling the flames was only a part of the refining method. The other part relied on the law of wood. A divine alchemist with peerless talent in alchemy can even use the law of life to extract a trace of life energy from the divine tree of life in the realms of gods and infuse it into his divine pills to further purify them and increase the success rate and quality of his divine pills? Duan Lingtian was stunned when he read this. The divine tree of life? Naturally, he knew there was a divine tree of life in the realms of gods. However, he did not expect to be able to extract a trace of life energy from the divine tree of life in the realms of gods. Most importantly, he had the divine tree of life in his little world. He could have as much life energy as he wanted. In the realms of gods, one has to rely on the law of fire to gain basic mastery in alchemy, the law of wood to advance, and the law of life to perfect mastery. Powerful alchemists are usually skilled in controlling flames and using the law of wood to refine pills. Then, they can use the law of life to extract life energy from the heaven and earth spirit energy to refine the pills. Duan Lingtian discovered after reading about the law of alchemy. He had the basic qualifications to become a top divine pill master in the realms of gods. Moreover, his qualifications were far superior to other divine pill masters. He could be said to be blessed by heaven. Naturally, the stronger the law of fire and the more profundities one can fuse, the better. However, in alchemy, one can't use the law of fire's fused profundities. Moreover, if one uses the fused profundities, the temperature of the cauldron would become unstable and cause the refinement to fail. Of course, there are also some divine alchemists who use the law of fire to heat the cauldron before concocting pills, allowing the cauldron to heat up faster. It's the same for the law of wood. All one has to do is master all profundities to the mastery stage. It's the same for the law of life. In other words, if I want to become a qualified divine pill master in the realms of gods, I don't have to waste my time comprehending these three laws. Duan Lingtian took a deep breath. Currently, I'm qualified to master the law of fire. As for the law of life, I've mastered all the profundities to the initial stage. As for the law of wood, I've also comprehended 2 profundities to the initial stage. When he was still in the Devata realm, Duan Lingtian had already comprehended all the profundities to the mastery stage when he was in the Tidal Temple's secret chamber. As for the law of life and the law of wood, he did not really comprehend them. He had to rely on the divine tree of life and the clear heaven's divine wood to comprehend them. It seems like I'll have to use the Linghu family's secret chamber. With this thought in mind, Duan Lingtian contacted the clan leader of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjie, and told him he wanted to use the Linghu family's secret chamber. Duan Lingtian. Linghu Renjie responded quickly. With your current attainments in the law of space, the Linghu family's secret chamber won't be of any help to you. You'll only be wasting your time if you enter the secret chamber. As soon as Linghu Renjie finished speaking, Duan Lingtian knew Linghu Renjie had misunderstood him. Clan leader, you've misunderstood. I don't intend to enter the secret chamber to comprehend the law of space. I want to enter the secret chamber to comprehend the law of life and the law of wood. Chapter 3751. Comprehend the laws of life and the laws of wood? When Linghu Renjie heard Duan Lingtian's words, he couldn't help but ask, Duan Lingtian, are you planning to learn alchemy? Alchemy requires a certain foundation. Moreover, even if you have a foundation, there are still many aspects that you need to pay attention to. If you need any divine pills, I'll help you find them. You don't need to learn alchemy by yourself. If you have the time, you might as well cultivate. Linghu Renjie advised kindly. While Duan Lingtian appreciated Linghu Renjie's kind advice, he sighed and said, Patriarch, my cultivation has entered a plateau and I need to rest. However, even if I stop cultivating, my mind will still be filled with cultivation. This situation is not good for my cultivation. I want to find something else to focus on and distract myself. In short, it's fine as long as you know what to do. Linghu Renjie said, I'll ask Wang Fu to come over later and receive the token to enter the law secret room from me. Wang Fu will then take you to the law secret room. Wang Fu was the steward of the mansion where Duan Lingtian was currently living. He was Duan Lingtian's personal steward. Thank you, Patriarch. Duan Lingtian repeatedly thanked him. Whether it was Linghu Renjia or Wang Fu, they were both very efficient. Only about a quarter of an hour later, Duan Lingtian heard Wang Fu's voice from outside. Young master, I've already received the token to enter the law secret room from Patriarch. Whenever you want to go to the law secret room, you can call me at any time. Let's do it now. Almost as soon as Wang Fu finished speaking, Duan Lingtian had already pushed open the door and walked out. He was now eager to comprehend the laws of life and the laws of wood. His goal was to comprehend all the profundities of the laws of life and the laws of wood to the great accomplishment stage. As for fusing profundities, he wasn't interested. At least he wasn't interested for the time being. Currently he was most proficient in the law of space, and when facing an enemy he could only use one law, so he wasn't in a hurry to use the other laws. Young master, please follow me. Under Wang Fu's guidance, Duan Lingtian made his way through the Linghu family mansion before finally arriving at a spacious area within the Linghu family mansion. In this open space, at first glance, one could see many people standing in groups of 3 to 5, looking around vigilantly. Young master, this is where our Linghu family's law room is located. The law room is underground. As soon as Duan Lingtian and Wang Fu entered, several people nearby came forward. They only let them pass when they saw the token that Wang Fu took out. After showing the token several times, Wang Fu led Duan Lingtian to a corner of the open space, behind a stone platform. There was also a flight of stairs leading underground. As Duan Lingtian followed Wang Fu down the stairs, he could see that the walls on both sides of the stairs were engraved with incomparably complex patterns and patterns. Even on the stairs there were quite a few patterns and patterns. Duan Lingtian instinctively extended his consciousness, and it wasn't difficult to discover that the walls and stairs were covered with formations. The formations seemed to be on the verge of being activated at any time. After descending the stairs, Duan Lingtian was presented with a long passageway, and on both sides of the passageway were small cubicles. However, even the small cubicles were each more than 100 square meters in size. Elder. Wang Fu walked in front and handed the token in his hand to an old man who came forward to greet him. The old man glanced at the token and extended his consciousness into it. A humanoid figure appeared in a timely manner. It was Linghu Renjia. Patriarch. The old man greeted Linghu Renjia. Fourth Elder, you're on duty today. Linghu Renjia's humanoid figure smiled faintly. Yes. The old man responded. As for his identity, it was also revealed when Linghu Renjia spoke. He was the Linghu family's 4th elder. The Linghu family was divided into inner clan and outer clan. Outer clan elders corresponded to the Hidden Fog sect's outer sect elders. Inner clan elders corresponded to the Hidden Fog sect's inner sect elders. Core elders were about the same. As the Linghu family's 4th elder, this old man was one of the Linghu family's core elders. He was an outstanding figure amongst the Linghu family's upper god kings. Duan Lingtian wants to enter the law chamber. He can stay as long as he wants. Don't rush him. Linghu Renjia said to the old man. As his voice fell, Linghu Renjia's humanoid figure completely vanished. As for the light that rose from the token, it was also completely restrained. Duan Lingtian? The old man looked at Duan Lingtian. At this time, Duan Lingtian's attention was also drawn to the appearance of Linghu Renjia's humanoid figure. It wasn't until he heard the old man's voice that he regained his composure. Duan Lingtian, I am the Linghu family's 4th elder, Linghu Hua. The old man looked at Duan Lingtian, stunned for a moment. Then he revealed a brilliant smile. I've long heard of your great name. You haven't even reached 3,000 years of age and yet you've become a lower god king. Moreover, you've killed 2 core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect. Although those 2 core disciples were only middle god kings, they were stronger than ordinary upper god kings. As soon as Linghu Hua spoke, he mentioned that Duan Lingtian had killed the Hidden Fog sect's core disciples Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. It was clear that this matter had already spread. 4th elder overpraises me. I was just lucky. Duan Lingtian smiled. Duan Lingtian, you don't need to be modest in front of me. Linghu Hua smiled. Speaking of which, I can be considered the patriarch's cousin. There are many things that others don't know, but I do. However, I still have to tell you something. Joining the Linghu family is absolutely your best choice. What the Hidden Fog sect can give you, the Linghu family can also give you. What the Hidden Fog sect can't give you, the Linghu family can still give you. Linghu Hua said, take this law chamber for example. You've seen it for yourself, besides you no one else has come here. This is because very few people come here. Every time the law chamber is used, it consumes a great deal of the divine stones in our Linghu family's divine stone mine. The consumption is enormous. Even the direct descendants can't come here whenever they want. As for the other juniors of our Linghu family, they all need to meet certain conditions before they have the chance to enter. Moreover, the time they can stay is limited. As for you, Duan Lingtian, the Patriarch's order is that you can stay in the law chamber for as long as you want. There's no need to rush you. As Linghu Hua spoke, his gaze became particularly complex. Even now, as he recalled Linghu Renjia's words just now, Linghu Hua was shocked and filled with disbelief. This was the first time he had heard the Patriarch give such an order. I feel it. Duan Lingtian nodded solemnly. He would always remember the care that Linghu Renjia gave him. If there was a chance in the future, he would repay this kindness. Go. Choose the law chamber you want to enter. Although there are no words at the entrance of each law chamber, it won't be difficult for you to discover what laws those law chambers correspond to. As soon as Linghu Hua finished speaking, Duan Lingtian found the law chamber of life and slowly walked in. He planned to comprehend all the profundities from the law of life to the mastery stage before he entered the law chamber of wood to comprehend the law of wood. When Wang Fu saw Duan Lingtian entering the law chamber, he turned around and left. The law chamber was an important place in the Linghu family. Unrelated people were not allowed to stay for long. This was not the first time Duan Lingtian had seen a law chamber, so he was familiar with it. Back when Duan Lingtian was still in the Devata realm, he had spent 3 months in the law chamber of the Tidal Temple to comprehend all the profundities from the law of fire and the law of earth to the mastery stage. Of course, that was also because he had extraordinary attainments in those 2 laws to begin with. This time, he had comprehended a law that he was not good at in the past. For this reason, it took Duan Lingtian 4 months to comprehend all the profundities from the law of life and the law of wood to the mastery stage. At this point he had achieved all his goals. 4th Elder. After Duan Lingtian left the law chamber, he looked for Linghu Hua, the 4th Elder of the Linghu family, who was still on duty in the law chamber. There's no law chamber of the law of time in the law chamber of the Linghu family? Before Duan Lingtian entered the law chamber of life, he had sensed various laws at the entrance of each law chamber. Apart from the 5 elemental laws, there was also the law of wind, the law of ice, and the law of thunder. There was also the law of darkness, the law of light, and the law of destruction. As for the 4 supreme laws, apart from the law of time, there was also the law of space, the law of life, and the law of death. However, there was no law of time. At that time, his first thought was that he was not confident enough in his senses, so he did not think too much about it and entered the law chamber of life directly. When he came out of the law chamber of life and entered the law chamber of wood, he carefully probed around but still did not find the law chamber of time. Now that he had come out of the law chamber of wood, he could not help but ask Linghu Hua, the 4th Elder of the Linghu family. Before coming to the law chamber of the Linghu family, Duan Lingtian had not thought about the law of time. After coming here, he thought about how he had comprehended all the profundities from the law of time to the mastery stage in the land of inheritance that his master had obtained from the ultimate powerhouse. He wondered if he would have the opportunity to comprehend the fusion of 2 profundities from the law of time in the law chamber of the Linghu family. However, he could not find the law chamber of time even though he wanted to do so. Duan Lingtian. Linghu Hua was slightly taken aback by Duan Lingtian's question. However, when he regained his senses he could not help but chuckle. Don't you know that only supreme powerhouses are capable of creating a secret chamber that contains the law of time? As long as it's not an ultimate powerhouse, no matter how good they are at setting up formations or even if they're a high-level supreme god, they can't set up the law of time. This is a public iron law in all the planes of gods. Chapter 3752. Only a supreme powerhouse could set it up? After listening to Linghu Hua's words, Duan Lingtian recalled the secret chamber that contained the law of time he entered in the Azura Hell, one of the 7 deadliest places in the Devata realms. It was the place where his master, Feng Qingyang, obtained the inheritance from a supreme powerhouse. It was left behind by a supreme powerhouse. I see. Realization dawned on Duan Lingtian at this moment. He was still thinking about improving his comprehension of the law of time in the Linghu family's secret chamber. Apart from the law of space, the law of time was the law of time that Duan Lingtian valued the most. The law of space was not weaker than any other law except for the law of time. As for the law of time, it was known as the strongest of the four supreme laws. It was the strongest of the four supreme laws, not to mention when compared to the other laws. Are you asking this because you still want to comprehend the law of time in our Linghu family's secret chamber? Linghu Hua shook his head. If the secret chamber in our Linghu family can allow one to comprehend the law of time, I'm afraid even the clan leader and the clan elders would want to enter it. Unfortunately, only a supreme powerhouse can set up a secret chamber that contains the law of time. In the Devata realms, only godly venerable rank forces that have a close relationship with a supreme powerhouse have a secret chamber that contains the law of time. Otherwise, it would be in the cultivation place of a supreme powerhouse. Naturally, the inheritance left behind by a supreme powerhouse might also have a secret chamber that contains the law of time, Linghu Hua said. Duan Lingtian smiled wryly. Upon hearing this, Duan Lingtian could not help but smile awkwardly. At the same time, Linghu Hua continued to say, as one of the four supreme laws, the law of time is the most mysterious and the most difficult to comprehend. Take our Linghu family as an example. In the history of our Linghu family, no one has ever comprehended all the profundities from the law of time to the mastery stage, let alone comprehending the fused profundities from the law of time. It's not that no one wants to focus on the temporal laws, but unless they never step into the divine king realm in their entire lives, there is no time for them to waste. In the plains of gods, apart from those who are naturally gifted with the law of time or those who are extremely lucky to obtain divine fruits or time tablets, it's very difficult for them to stay true to themselves and focus on the law of time. Many people will discover that the time spent comprehending the laws of time can also be used to comprehend other laws, resulting in twice the result with half the effort. After hearing Linghu Hua's words, Duan Lingtian nodded in understanding. At the same time, he knew how lucky he was to be able to enter a secret chamber that contained the law of time left behind by a supreme expert. It was a privilege that most people in the realms of gods rarely had. As for what Linghu Hua said, he could understand. After all, in the realms of gods, one had to become a god king or they would not have much time to waste. Everyone was racing against time. Once they lost, they would be killed by the heavenly tribulation that existences above the level of God King would face once every 1,000 years, and their bodies and Tao would vanish. If one did not break through and become a God King, their soul would remain at the level of a god. It would not benefit them in comprehending the law of time. Although a stronger soul would not give them an advantage in comprehending the law of time, it would definitely be more advantageous than before. Young master. A voice rang from the staircase. It was none other than Wang Fu, whom Duan Lingtian had summoned earlier when he learned that there was no secret chamber of time in the Linghu family's secret chamber. Since Wang Fu had the token to enter and exit the secret chamber, he would need Wang Fu to lead the way. Fourth Elder, thank you for clearing my doubts. Since I've achieved my goal, I'll take my leave first. Since Wang Fu had arrived, Duan Lingtian bade farewell to Linghu Hua. All right. Linghu Hua smiled and nodded. He watched as Duan Lingtian brought Wang Fu away. A faint smile appeared on his face. Since the clan leader has recruited this young man into our Linghu family, it can be said that the Linghu family has picked up a treasure. Linghu Hua, naturally, knew that Duan Lingtian had not comprehended the law of life and the law of wood during the short time he had spent in the secret chamber. It seemed like Duan Lingtian had only comprehended the two profundities to the mastery stage before leaving the secret chamber. It seemed like he did not intend to continue using the secret chamber of the Linghu family. It was obvious he did not want to take advantage of the Linghu family. Such a person was worthy of recognition. He was not an ungrateful person. Moreover, his innate talent and comprehension ability were astounding. To the Linghu family, having a revered elder with a different surname was only beneficial. After Duan Lingtian left the secret chamber with Wang Fu, he returned to his room and took out a divine pill cauldron from his spatial ring. When Duan Lingtian was still in the Devata realms, he had obtained many divine artifacts in the ruins of the realms of gods, including 2 divine artifact pill cauldrons. In the realms of gods, divine pill cauldrons were not graded. It was even to the extent that powerhouses with high cultivations needed to suppress their divine power when refining pills. Otherwise, once the divine power fused with the law of fire became too rampant, it would destroy the herbs needed to refine pills and even the pills that had yet to take shape. In the realms of gods, pill refinement relied on experience, innate talent, and the ability to sense the life energy in the heaven and earth spirit energy. Many divine alchemists were experienced and talented. However, since they could not sense the life energy in the heaven and earth spirit energy, let alone extract the life energy to aid in pill refinement, their success rate was not high. Moreover, even if they succeeded, the quality of the pills would not be high. As for some divine pills that had no difference in quality, such as the Emperor Connecting Divine Pill that the Heavenly Dragon sect took out last time and this time in the Hidden Dragon Grand Competition, it was impossible to refine it without the purification of life force during the refining process. Even if the life energy was used to refine the pills, it was not guaranteed that the pills would be refined successfully. It also depended on whether the life energy came in time and the quantity was sufficient. Take the Tianlong clan's divine alchemist for example. He was able to refine more than 10 Emperor Ascension divine pills in 100 years. In terms of skill, he could be ranked second in the entire realms of gods. He was a divine alchemist that any Emperor God forces would kill to recruit. Such a divine alchemist was capable of refining Emperor-grade divine pills. Even if the success rate was not high, it was still possible. For a divine alchemist who did not have the ability to refine Emperor-grade divine pills, it would be a waste no matter how many materials were given to him. Let's try refining the Jiayi and Bing San divine pills first. Duanling Tian recalled the 3 divine pills he had obtained at the Heavenly Wind City's Zhou clan's auction after he arrived at the Profound Handle land. It was precisely those 3 divine pills that helped his cultivation base to improve in a short period of time. At that time he had snatched the 3 divine pills from the 4th master of the Zhong clan in Heavenly Wind City. The spatial ring that Chu Han had left behind had a few sets of the herbs needed to refine the Jiayi and Bing San divine pills. In fact, there were many herbs needed to refine the divine pills. Is Chu Han a divine alchemist as well? Duanling Tian guessed. In fact, Chu Han was a divine alchemist. The reason why Kuang Tianjing, an inner sect elder of the Sky Dragon sect, chose Chu Han was not only because of Chu Han's martial talent, but also because of Chu Han's talent in alchemy. Although Chu Han had not broken through to the God King realm, he could refine spirit-grade divine pills. He could even refine ordinary king-grade divine pills. Divine pills of the same grade were divided into different grades. For example, the Emperor Ascension divine pill that could help a higher God King to break through to the lesser God Emperor realm was an Emperor-grade divine pill. Moreover, it was not an ordinary Emperor-grade divine pill. For this reason, the Emperor Ascension divine pill was one of the top Emperor-grade divine pills that could be used by God Kings. Could be said that it was a divine pill that every God King dreamed of. The old sect master of the Sky Dragon sect was able to refine Emperor-grade divine pills. He was already considered an Emperor-grade divine pill master. Of course, there's also a difference in strength between Emperor-grade divine pill masters. The weaker ones can barely refine Emperor-grade divine pills, but their success rate is pitifully low and their waste of materials is shocking. A strong Emperor-grade divine pill master has a stable success rate when refining Emperor-grade divine pills. They can refine ordinary Emperor-grade divine pills with ease, and the success rate of refining Emperor-grade divine pills is astonishing. If I'm not wrong, the old clan leader of the Tianlong clan is considered a strong Emperor-grade divine pill master. It was not difficult for Duanling Tian to figure out that the Tianlong clan was able to produce so many Emperor Ascension divine pills in 100 years. In the realms of gods, the highest level of divine pill masters were venerable grade divine pill masters. Below them were Emperor grade divine pill masters, royal grade divine pill masters, king grade divine pill masters, and spirit grade divine pill masters. For example, Chu Han, who was killed by Duanling Tian, could be considered a king-grade divine pill master because he could refine king-grade divine pills. Let's practice first. In the realms of gods, most of the recipes for divine pills were no secret. After all, even if the recipes were leaked, not everyone could refine them. This was especially true for some pill formulas. Although the required medicinal ingredients were recorded, if the key points of the technique were not written, even the divine alchemist who had the ability to refine the divine pills recorded in the formula would often fail due to the lack of technique. The higher the grade of the divine pill, the more particular the recipe was. Naturally, for spirit-grade divine pills like the Jia Yibing divine pill, the recipe had been improved many times over the long history of the realms of gods. Even the technique recorded in the recipe had been improved continuously. Therefore, any spirit-grade divine pill master with some skill would be able to refine it. Although there was a ready-made recipe, it was still difficult to put it into practice. Every step could not be wrong. Just like now. Duanling Tian's first attempt at refining the Jia Yibing divine pill had failed. In the process of refining the Jia Yibing divine pill with the law of wood, the cauldron exploded and the incomplete Jia Yibing divine pill was turned into useless dregs. I actually failed? Duan Lingtian felt a little disappointed when he saw the dregs pouring out of the cauldron. Am I not talented in this area? Am I not suitable to be a divine pill master? If other divine pill masters heard Duan Lingtian's words, they would definitely beat him to death. It was Duan Lingtian's first time refining a divine pill. Moreover, the Jia Yibing divine pill was one of the top spirit-grade divine pills. Divine pill masters who could refine the Jia Yibing divine pill were as rare as phoenix feathers and qilin horns in the realms of gods. Chapter 3753. From Duan Lingtian's point of view, the Jia Yibing 3 divine pill was only a spirit-level divine pill. Moreover, the recipe that he had memorized in the Linghu family's library was a refined version. Every step was very detailed, and even the strength of the technique was standardized. It was too much of a blow for him to fail under such circumstances. Let's try again. Just nice, there's still one more set of ingredients to refine the Jia Yibing 3 divine pill. If I fail again, I'll stop studying pill refinement for the time being. Maybe I'm really not cut out to be a divine pill master. With a nervous heart, Duan Lingtian began refining the Jia Yibing 3 divine pill again. This time he was even more serious than before. Every step was done according to the description of the pill formula in his memory. Not a single mistake was made. Soon it was time to refine. After failing once, Duan Lingtian was even more careful. Then he successfully passed the refining stage. Normally, after refining, he could condense the pill. After all, it was only a spirit-level divine pill. Divine pill masters who refine this kind of divine pill basically did not have the ability to extract the life force from the spiritual energy of heaven and earth to further refine the divine pill. Moreover, even if a spirit-level divine pill was not purified, the success rate was very high. It was not like a divine pill above the emperor level, which could not be formed without purification. Should I refine it? However, Duan Lingtian now wanted to refine the Jia Yibing 3 divine pill that was about to condense. According to the recipe, a divine pill master who has the ability to refine the Jia Yibing 3 divine pill will have a 100% success rate once the refinement is successful. If the refinement fails, this cauldron of Jia Yibing 3 divine pill will be wasted. If I don't refine it and condense it directly, the success rate will be more than 60%. If I condense it directly now, whether or not it will be formed completely depends on the will of the heavens. Should I try refining it? It was not easy to get to this step. He had not made any mistakes before and was about to condense the pill. Duan Lingtian did not want to leave all this to the will of the heavens. Moreover, he did not need to extract the life force from the spiritual energy of heaven and earth. He could just get it from the divine tree of life in his small world. To be precise, he just needed to let the life force in the spiritual energy of heaven and earth that filled his small world. The small world in his body was completely under his control. With a single thought, the condensed life force gushed out from the small world in his body and entered the divine artifact pill cauldron before him. After a while, Duan Lingtian stopped pouring in his divine power of life because it was enough. He had even channeled the power of life to the limit that the Jia Yibing San divine pill could absorb. If there was an emperor-grade divine pill master or above, seeing Duan Lingtian obtain so much life force from refining pills, they would definitely be dumbfounded. If they saw Duan Lingtian injecting so much life force into the cauldron used to concoct spirit-grade divine pills, they would definitely scold Duan Lingtian for being a wastrel. One had to know that even the most outstanding emperor-grade divine pill alchemist wouldn't be able to extract even a tenth of what Duan Lingtian was injecting into his pill cauldron. Extravagant. It was too extravagant. Of course, the current Duan Lingtian didn't have any concept of this. He only knew that the first divine pill he had concocted was about to take shape. Moreover, it would definitely take shape. There was no need to worry about failure. It's done. As Duan Lingtian's consciousness trembled, he casually patted the divine artifact pill cauldron in front of him. Immediately, the lid of the pill cauldron folded up and 3 divine pills flew out at lightning speed. Duan Lingtian, who had been prepared for this, casually grabbed the 3 divine pills in his hand. The 3 divine pills shone brightly, just like the Jia Yibing San divine pills that Duan Lingtian had obtained before. However, the Jia Yibing San divine pills that he had obtained at the Zhou family's auction in Tianfeng City didn't smell as good as the ones he had concocted now. Moreover, there was a thick layer of light around the 3 divine pills. There are patterns on them? Soon after, the sharp-eyed Duan Lingtian clearly saw the obvious pill inscriptions on the first, second, and third divine pills in his hand. Moreover, the pill inscriptions were in the form of ancient words. Coincidentally, Duan Lingtian had read these ancient words when he was in the Devata realms. Jia Yi Bing. The pill veins on the 3 divine pills were formed from ancient characters. Pill patterns? Didn't they say that only supreme divine pills would have pill patterns on them? Why would the Jia Yi Bing San divine pills that I concocted for the first time have pill patterns on them? As soon as this thought appeared in Duan Lingtian's mind, a thunderous roar rang in the sky above his residence. Uncle Fu, what's going on? At the same time, in the front courtyard of Duan Lingtian's residence, a few maids were looking up at the sky as they asked Wang Fu, who was standing nearby with a confused expression on their faces. Wang Fu was also confused as he looked at the dark clouds in the sky. This looks like a heavenly tribulation. But none of us are undergoing a heavenly tribulation here. None of you are even God Kings. I just passed my heavenly tribulation 300 years ago. As for young master's heavenly tribulation, I think he has already passed it. Wang Fu was still in a daze when the sound of wind whistling could be heard coming from the roof of one of the rooms in the residence. Uncle Fu, look. What's that? It seems like it came from young master's room. A few maids with sharp eyes said to Wang Fu one after another. Before Wang Fu could react, a loud bang rang in the air as a figure shot up into the sky above the room. Young master? Wang Fu could not help but fly up into the air when he saw the figure in front of him. His instincts told him this had something to do with his young master. Swoosh, 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 swoosh. At some point in time, numerous figures had already gathered over from all directions. These people, without exception, were all elders and disciples of the Linghu family. What's going on? That residence seems to belong to Duan Lingtian, the new revered elder of the Linghu family. Revered elder Duan seems to have become a lesser god king some time ago. He should have passed his first heavenly tribulation a long time ago. Don't tell me it belongs to the steward beside him? I know the steward beside revered elder Duan. He passed his heavenly tribulation 300 years ago. That's strange. Before long, many figures had gathered in the sky above Duan Lingtian's residence. Without Duan Lingtian's permission, they did not dare to enter the sky above Duan Lingtian's residence. They could only watch from afar. Patriarch. 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 A corner of the crowd automatically opened up a path for a figure to step through the air. It was none other than the patriarch of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjia. Behind Linghu Renjia was a white-haired old man. At this moment, his eyes were shining as he looked at the dark clouds that were brewing above the residence. The lightning in the dark clouds was not purple. Instead, it was reddish-brown. It looked extremely strange. Revered Elder Wu, this tribulation cloud seems a little off. It doesn't look like the tribulation cloud of a god king. Linghu Renjia looked at the tribulation cloud above the residence and said to the old man behind him, Patriarch, this is not the tribulation cloud of a human tribulation. It's the tribulation cloud of an elixir tribulation. The old man behind Linghu Renjia corrected Linghu Renjia after hearing Linghu Renjia's words. This is the heavenly tribulation caused by an ultimate divine pill. An ultimate divine pill. When the old man said this, Linghu Renjia could not help but gasp. An ultimate divine pill? Although he was not a divine pill master, he knew what the words, ultimate divine pill meant. It meant the pinnacle of a certain type of divine pill, the ultimate. The same type of divine pill could be refined by different divine pill masters. There would be differences in quality. Even if they were of the same grade, there would still be differences in quality. There was a limit to every type of divine pill. At that limit, there would be no more breakthroughs. This type of divine pill was also called an ultimate divine pill. Boom. Rumble. While Linghu Renjia was still in shock, the tribulation cloud above the residence finally struck down tribulation lightning. Bolts of lightning as thick as a baby's arm fell from the sky and struck the 3 little light spots in the void. In the next moment, a burst of light circulated above the 3 specks of light, and then they actually completely absorbed the lightning. Then, the second bolt of tribulation lightning fell. This time it was much thicker than the previous one. However, it was still absorbed by the 3 little light spots. At the same time, the tribulation cloud dispersed and the sky returned to normal. It's the pill tribulation. Oh my God. Is this the legendary pill tribulation of an ultimate divine pill? This pill tribulation has a total of 2 bolts of tribulation lightning. This is the pill tribulation of an ultimate divine pill. Those 3 little light spots look like Jia Bing San divine pills? Among the onlookers from the Linghu family, there was no lack of experienced and knowledgeable people. At this time they also came back to their senses one after another. Each and every one of them stared at the 3 divine pellets that had fallen into the purple-clothed youth's hand. An ultimate divine pill. In the past they had only heard of it but had never seen it before. Duanling Tian. Duanling Tian had just put away the Jia Yi Bing San divine pills when a familiar voice entered his ears. He instinctively looked in the direction of the voice and saw the head of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjia, walking over with an old man in tow. Head of the family. After greeting Linghu Renjia, Duanling Tian was shocked to see the group of onlookers in the sky outside his mansion. He had only just realized that there were so many people here. Just now, his attention was focused on the pill tribulation of the divine pills. He was afraid that the pill tribulation would destroy the Jia Yi Bing San divine pills that he had just refined. If an ultimate divine pill could not withstand the pill tribulation and was destroyed by the pill tribulation, it could only be considered a flawed and imperfect ultimate divine pill. Only an ultimate divine pill that could withstand the pill tribulation could be considered a true ultimate divine pill. Of course, even an ultimate divine pill that could attract the pill tribulation and then be destroyed by the pill tribulation was not something that anyone could refine. Duanling Tian, which senior refined the Jia Yi Bing San divine pills that you just put away? This was the first sentence Linghu Renjia asked as he approached. He was really too curious. At the same time, he looked left and right in an attempt to find the person who had refined the pills. He naturally did not dare to hope that such a heaven-defying person would stay in the Linghu family, but as long as he was lucky enough to meet him, it would be a blessing that he had cultivated for 8 lifetimes. Chapter 3754. Even if it was only a spirit-grade divine pill, it was impossible for a divine pill master to refine a spirit-grade divine pill without the ability to extract life force from the world energy. Moreover, even if a divine pill master had the ability to extract life force from the world energy, not everyone could refine a spirit-grade divine pill, even if it was only a spirit-grade divine pill. Only those divine pill masters who could extract a certain amount of life force from the heaven and earth spiritual chi to refine pills could refine extreme spirit-grade divine pills. As for higher grades of spirit-grade divine pills, they required even more life force to support them. However, even if it was a spirit-grade divine pill master, one had to be at least an emperor-grade divine pill master to be able to refine a spirit-grade divine pill master. A god-emperor-grade force like the Linghu family would not be able to keep such a person because such a person would be an honored guest even in a god-emperor-grade force like the Tianlong clan. Which senior? Hearing Linghu Renjia's question, Duanling Tian was stunned. It's the 3 divine pills that you just put away. Which senior refined them? Linghu Renjia saw that Duanling Tian was stunned, as if he did not hear his question clearly, so he quickly repeated his question. You mean these 3 divine pills? This time, Duanling Tian heard him clearly and took out the Jia Yi and Bing San divine pills from his storage ring. After the baptism of the pill tribulation, the halo around the 3 divine pills seemed to have an additional strand of brownish-red lightning circling them. Moreover, there seemed to be brownish-red lightning energy flowing on the pill patterns on their surface, making them look extraordinary. That's right. Linghu Renjia nodded and said, normally speaking, a pill tribulation will be triggered after a peak-grade divine pill is refined. Didn't you go to the law chamber to comprehend the law of wood and law of life because you wanted to learn how to refine pills some time ago? After you came out today, you probably went to find a senior divine pill master and asked him to teach you how to refine pills, right? What about that senior? As Linghu Renjia asked, his tone couldn't help but become urgent. Duanling Tian had heard the news from the Linghu family's 4th elder the moment he came out of the law chamber. There's no senior. Duanling Tian shook his head and looked at the 3 elixir pills in his hand. I just made these Jia Yi Bing San elixir pills myself. As soon as Duanling Tian said this, Linghu Renjia was stunned. Even the old man behind him and the nearby hungry Wang Fu were stunned. Even Wang Fu, after seeing the pill tribulation of the Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill, subconsciously thought that it was a divine pill refined by someone else. But now, after hearing the young master he served, he remembered that apart from bringing this young master into the law chamber, he was basically in this mansion all the time. If someone came in or out, he would definitely know. However, no outsiders had ever entered or exited. Young master, he's actually a divine pill master who can refine an ultimate divine pill? Wang Fu was shocked. When he looked at Duanling Tian again, his eyes were filled with reverence. At the same time, Linghu Renjia finally regained his senses. He stared at Duanling Tian dumbfounded. Duanling Tian, you're not joking, are you? I'm not. Duanling Tian shook his head seriously. I'm telling the truth. But, when Linghu Renjie spoke again he couldn't help but stutter. What Duan Lingtian had just said was too shocking. But didn't you just comprehend the laws of life and the laws of wood and learn how to refine pills? Yes. Duan Lingtian nodded again. Today was my first attempt at refining a divine pill. However, I've refined 2 cauldrons of Jiayi and Bingsan divine pills. However, I failed in the first cauldron because I didn't refine the ingredients properly. At that time, I wondered if it was because I didn't have the talent to refine pills. After all, the formula for the Jiayi and Bingsan divine pills clearly stated the steps and details of the pill refinement. I shouldn't have messed it up. Upon hearing Duan Lingtian's words, Linghu Renjie studied Duan Lingtian a few times. When he was certain Duan Lingtian was not playing dumb, the corners of his mouth twitched uncontrollably. Was it not normal for one to fail in their first attempt at refining pills? As far as Linghu Renjie knew, even if a divine pill master who had ascended to the realms of gods had a high level of attainment in pill refinement, he would be considered talented if he could succeed in refining spirit-grade divine pills in the realms of gods once out of 10 attempts. However, Duan Lingtian said he was not talented in pill refinement after failing in his first attempt at refining pills? At this moment, apart from Linghu Renjie, even the old man behind him could not help but feel his mouth twitching uncontrollably. Duan Lingtian did not notice the twitching of the 2 old men's mouths as he continued to speak. However, it just so happened that I had a set of ingredients to refine the Jiayi and Bingsan divine pills, so I tried to refine them a second time. At that time, I thought to myself that if I failed again, I would never touch a cauldron again. Finally, the second time, under my careful efforts, I finally succeeded. However, I didn't expect I would be able to refine a supreme-grade divine pill and even face a pill tribulation. Fortunately, it passed the pill tribulation. If it didn't, I would have suspected that I'm not suitable for pill refinement. After all, if it didn't pass the pill tribulation, it would have been destroyed. When Duan Lingtian reached the end of his sentence, his expression was still serious. However, when Linghu Renjie saw this, he felt an urge to beat him up. At this moment, the onlookers had also heard Duan Lingtian's words from beginning to end. When they heard this, they had the urge to rush up to Duan Lingtian and give him a good beating. Do you guys think this revered elder Duan really doesn't understand the logic behind this, or is he purposely trying to piss people off? I think he's trying to piss people off. This is so infuriating. I can barely be considered a king-grade pill refinement master. However, when I was refining pills, I wasted more than 20 cauldron divine pills before I successfully refined a divine pill. He's only done it twice and he's saying he doesn't have the talent for pill refinement? I also think he's trying to piss people off. Moreover, he's showing off. However, I don't have any evidence. Why do I feel like this revered elder Duan deserves a beating? I really want to beat him up. I feel the same way. I think so too. The onlookers, elders and disciples of the Linghu family looked at Duan Lingtian with hostility. When Duan Lingtian heard their discussion, realization dawned on him. It seemed like his second attempt at refining a divine pill was a sign of his innate talent. It did not mean he had failed to refine a divine pill or that he did not have the talent for pill refinement. For a moment, Duan Lingtian felt much better. Fortunately, he did not give up just because of his first failure. Fortunately, he had tried a second time. Otherwise, he would have lost a genius like him in the realms of gods. Moreover, he would have missed the opportunity to become a divine pill refinement master. Fortunately, revered elder Duan. At this moment, the old man behind Linghu Renjie spoke up. He looked at Duan Lingtian in disbelief and asked, "Why? Is this really your first time refining a divine pill?" "Yes." Duan Lingtian nodded. Then he looked at Linghu Renjie in confusion and asked, "Clan leader, this is?" Linghu Renjie finally regained his senses. He quickly introduced the old man to Duan Lingtian. "Duan Lingtian, this is the chief alchemist of the Linghu family, revered elder Lin Yan. Revered elder Lin is a good friend of mine. We've gone through thick and thin together in the past." Linghu Renjie introduced. "Revered elder Lin." Duan Lingtian hurriedly greeted the old man when he heard Lin Yan's greeting. As for Lin Yan, his face and ears turned red when he heard Linghu Renjie's introduction. After greeting Duan Lingtian politely, he glared at Linghu Renjie and said, "Linghu Renjie, you're here to embarrass me, aren't you? What kind of chief alchemist am I in front of a divine pill refinement master like revered elder Duan who can refine a supreme-grade divine pill?" When Lin Yan reached the end of his sentence, there was a hint of bitterness and self-deprecation in his tone. Linghu Renjie smiled bitterly. Old man, didn't you hear Duan Lingtian say today is his first time refining a divine pill? That's right. Duan Lingtian nodded as well. At the same time, his eyes lit up as he looked at Lin Yan. Revered Elder Lin, I refined the pills according to the pill formulas recorded in the Linghu clan's library today. The pill formula I used has your name on it. You must be the one who compiled it, right? Revered Elder Lin, I've just started learning how to refine pills. There are still many things I don't understand. I hope you can guide me in the future. Duan Lingtian's enthusiasm did not seem fake at all. It made Lin Yan feel bitter in his heart. What kind of genius was this? How could he refine a supreme-grade divine pill on his first day? Lin Yan took a deep breath before he shook his head and said, Revered Elder Duan, I don't dare to guide you. Let's learn from each other. What a joke. Duan Lingtian was someone who could refine a supreme-grade divine pill. Even if it was only a spirit-grade divine pill, it was not something Lin Yan could refine. Revered Elder Lin, you're too humble. You're the chief alchemist of the Linghu clan. How can I compare to you? Duan Lingtian said. Now, if not for Duan Lingtian's sincere tone and innocent eyes, Lin Yan might not have been able to hold himself back and beat him up. This was too infuriating. How could anyone be so infuriating? Lin Yan took a few deep breaths before he regained his senses. He asked curiously, Revered Elder Duan, even if it's a spirit-grade divine pill, it needs to be purified with life force during the refining process in order to make it into a supreme-grade divine pill. You're able to extract life force from the spiritual energy of heaven and earth on your first day of refining pills? Lin Yan changed the topic. He was worried that if he continued to listen to Duan Lingtian, he would be so angry that he would not be able to hold himself back from beating Duan Lingtian up. Duan Lingtian nodded. Chapter 3755. What? Lin Yan was taken aback when he heard Duan Lingtian's words and saw the serious expression on Duan Lingtian's face. You're extracting the life energy according to the technique I recorded in the library? That's right. Duan Lingtian nodded. Without waiting for Lin Yan's reply, Duan Lingtian's divine energy flashed as the law of life merged with his divine energy. Then, under Lin Yan's horrified gaze, Duan Lingtian extracted a wisp of life energy from the heaven and earth spiritual energy. Although it was not as much as the life energy he extracted from his little world, it was still a considerable amount. At the very least, Lin Yan was stunned. It was as if he had been scared silly. This was what Duan Lingtian discovered when he used the life energy from his little world. He discovered that after using the life force, even if it was not the life force of his miniature world, he could still clearly sense it and draw it away at will. Naturally, the amount and density of the life energy he extracted from the little world was far inferior to the life energy in his little world. This was because Duan Lingtian had a divine tree of life in his little world. He could extract the life energy from the air around the divine tree of life. It was the purest and densest life energy. It was only natural that he would be able to refine pills with half the effort. However, Duan Lingtian did not tell Lin Yan that he was holding back when he extracted the life energy from the air. If he unleashed his full strength, he was confident he could extract all the life energy from the heaven and earth spiritual energy in his surroundings. Due to the divine tree of life in his body, his little world was filled with rich life energy. In terms of sensitivity to the life energy emitted by the divine tree of life, apart from the supreme experts, only someone like Duan Lingtian who had a divine tree of life in his little world would be able to detect it. Under such circumstances, Duan Lingtian could clearly sense the life energy in the heaven and earth spirit energy. Not only that, but he could also absorb it. In this regard, most divine alchemists in the realms of gods were no match for Duan Lingtian. When Linghu Renjia looked at Lin Yan finally recovered from his daze. He smiled bitterly and sighed. What you used was indeed a small technique that I used to extract the spirit energy of heaven and earth. However, even I could only extract a small amount of life force from the spirit energy of heaven and earth with this small technique. The amount of life force you're extracting right now is much greater than the amount I'm extracting. This little trick was indeed his. He also stayed with the Linghu family. However, even if many people knew his little trick, they still couldn't extract the life force from the spiritual chi of heaven and earth. This was because anyone who wanted to extract the life force needed to sense the life force in the spiritual chi of heaven and earth. His little trick was to allow a person to extract as much life force as possible from the spiritual chi of heaven and earth that they sensed. It's no wonder you're able to refine supreme spirit-grade divine pills. With this amount of life force, any spirit-grade divine pill would be able to be refined into a supreme spirit-grade divine pill. Putting everything else aside, your ability to extract the life force from the spiritual chi of heaven and earth is already comparable to a top emperor-grade divine alchemist. In fact, it's comparable to an ordinary emperor-grade divine alchemist. Only Duan Ling Tian and Linghu Renjie, who were standing close to him, could hear the last part of his sentence. Even Wang Fu, who was standing nearby, could not hear him. Most of the onlookers were watching from afar. Naturally, the conversation between Duan Ling Tian and Wang Fu was more than enough for the onlookers to find out what they wanted to know. Heavens! Revered Elder Duan learned this from Revered Elder Ling Yan? Is this considered as the student surpassing the master? I heard from Revered Elder Ling Yan that Duan Ling Tian extracted more life force from the spiritual chi of heaven and earth than he did. If that's the case, doesn't that mean the young Revered Elder Duan from the Linghu family is already an emperor-grade divine alchemist when he just learned how to refine pills? I can only say that he's at the level of an emperor-grade divine alchemist when it comes to extracting life force. In fact, he's even more skilled than most emperor-grade divine alchemists. But isn't this the most difficult step in refining a divine pill? That's right. Practice makes perfect with the other steps. Only this step requires one to be able to sense the life force from the spiritual chi of heaven and earth. It's also because of this that divine alchemists who are skilled in the law of life have a unique advantage in this aspect. Duan Ling Tian could not help but chuckle inwardly when he heard the discussions of the onlookers. It was true that divine alchemists who were skilled in the law of life had an advantage in extracting life force from spiritual weapons. However, that was all there was to it. Duan Ling Tian might not be skilled in the law of life, but because of the divine tree of life in his little world, he was far more sensitive to the life force from the heaven and earth spiritual chi than anyone else. Perhaps, only those who had realms of gods as little worlds in their bodies would be able to match him in this aspect. This was because every realm of gods had a divine tree of life. Moreover, Duan Ling Tian had heard from the world-cleansing divine water in his body that every realm of gods required a divine tree of life to support it. Without a divine tree of life, his little world would not be able to develop into a realm of gods. At that time, Duan Ling Tian had wondered where the divine tree of life had come from. Then he thought about his own situation. Although he was not a supreme expert, he had a divine tree of life in his little world. Would he be able to develop his little world with the help of the divine tree of life in the future? At that time, if he became a supreme expert, would he be able to kill a supreme expert from a realm of gods and replace that realm of gods with his little world to become a new realm of gods? At that time, one of the realms of gods would belong to Duan Ling Tian. After all, it was his little world. Let's disperse. Linghu Renjie looked at the onlookers and said in a clear voice. After listening to Ling Yan's words in a hushed tone, he had many questions to ask Duan Ling Tian and many things he wanted to say. With so many onlookers around, it was obviously inconvenient. After all, Linghu Renjie was the clan leader of the Linghu family. Although the onlookers were reluctant to leave, they still dispersed. Take the king-grade divine pill formulas that he found in the Linghu family's library as an example. There were many things he could not understand. Theoretically, he could not understand those things. Only the pill formulas of spirit-level divine pills could be understood by him based on his past alchemy experience, because compared to the pill formulas of king-level divine pills, it was much simpler. Chapter 3756. When Duan Ling Tian saw the awkward expression on Lin Yan's face after listening to his words, he quickly explained his current situation to Lin Yan. The awkward expression on Lin Yan's face disappeared and was replaced by a smile. Revered Elder Duan, the things you didn't understand are just the basics of a divine alchemist. If you're interested, I can teach you. At this moment, Lin Yan finally understood that the purple-clad young man before him was indeed a novice among divine alchemists in the realms of gods. He did not even know the basics. Naturally, these things were rarely recorded. Most of them were passed down by word of mouth since they were complicated and flexible. It was difficult to record them in words. Thank you, revered Elder Lin. Duan Ling Tian thanked Lin Yan profusely. At this moment, Lin Yan turned to look at Linghu Renjie and said, Linghu, you've really picked up a gem. With revered Elder Duan's foundation in pill refinement, he'll be able to become an outstanding emperor-grade divine alchemist in a short time once he understands the basics. Previously, you asked me to help him refine divine pills. In my opinion, we should wait for him to master the basics before asking him to refine king-grade divine pills. Who knows, he might be able to refine 1 or 2 supreme divine pills. Lin Yan said. At this moment, Duan Lingtian learned from Lin Yan that Linghu Renjie had sought Lin Yan's help in pill refinement in order to improve his cultivation base as quickly as possible. In that case, we'll wait for Duan Lingtian to master the basics before I give him the materials to refine the divine pills. Linghu Renjie nodded. Then he looked at Lin Yan and said, "It seems like before Duan Lingtian leaves the Linghu family, I can't let you refine the important divine pills. It'll be a waste of materials if I let you refine them. It's better to let Duan Lingtian refine them." Linghu Renjie smiled brightly when he finished speaking. "If that's the case, then I'll leave the Linghu family and continue to be a carefree wild crane." Linghu Renjie was not angry. Instead, he replied calmly to Linghu Renjie. The smile on Linghu Renjie's face instantly froze. After a while he laughed awkwardly and said, just kidding. Duan Lingtian might become an outstanding alchemist, but he couldn't stay in the Linghu family forever. Even if Duan Lingtian did not become an outstanding member of the Duan Lingtian family, he would leave the Linghu family and enter the Tianlong clan in 20 years. His talent was top-notch and his comprehension was monstrous. Even if the Linghu family forced him to stay, it would only slow him down. Moreover, he couldn't stay in the Linghu family forever. In the next 20 years he might be able to ask Duan Lingtian to refine some important alchemy pills. But in 20 years, when Duan Lingtian went to the Tianlong clan, he couldn't just ask Duan Lingtian to refine any alchemy pills. In the following period of time, either Linghu Renjie came to Duan Lingtian's residence, or Duan Lingtian went to Linghu Renjie's residence. Duan Lingtian also gradually grasped the basics of refining alchemy pills that he had not come into contact with in the past. During this period of time, the news of Duan Lingtian refining the ultimate Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill also spread to the Linghu family. It didn't take long for the news to spread throughout the entire Linghu city, and it continued to spread to the surrounding areas. Ultimate divine pill. In the history of the Linghu family, no one had ever refined an ultimate divine pill. Even if it was a spirit-level divine pill that was even more ordinary than the Jia Yi Bing 3 divine pill, no one had ever refined an ultimate divine pill. Thus, once this news spread through Linghu city, it caused a great sensation. Heavens, is that Duan Lingtian an all-around talent? Not only does he have monstrous talent and perception, but he also became a lower god king at such a young age. Moreover, he has the strength to defeat an ordinary upper god king, and he is also a divine alchemist? He can even refine an ultimate divine pill? What kind of genius did the Hidden Fog sect miss out on? The Linghu family has really picked up a treasure this time. The Hidden Fog sect is probably regretting this so much that their intestines are turning green. If I were a member of the Hidden Fog sect, I would want to bang my head against a wall and die. Before Duan Lingtian came to the Linghu family, the fame he had created in the Hidden Fog sect had already spread far and wide. He wasn't even 3,000 years old, but with a divine spirit realm cultivation, he had become the first divine spirit realm core disciple in the Hidden Fog sect in 10,000 years. He was someone who could stand shoulder to shoulder with the Hidden Fog sect's former core disciple, Shui Haichuan. Later, when news of Duan Lingtian killing the Hidden Fog sect's core disciples Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao spread out, it caused an even greater sensation. If one said that the 2 inner sect disciples that Duan Lingtian killed on the Hidden Fog sect's extreme martial arena weren't well known outside, then Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao were core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect. But Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao were core disciples of the Hidden Fog sect that everyone knew of. Moreover, they knew that their strength ranked in the top 5 of the Hidden Fog sect's core disciples. However, these 2 middle god kings were existences that could defeat the majority of the Hidden Fog sect's upper god king realm inner sect elders. Yet they were killed by Duan Lingtian, who had just broken through to the lower god king realm. When this news spread to Linghu city, the entire city was stirred up. Many people even doubted the veracity of this news. However, as Duan Lingtian came to Linghu city and joined the Linghu family, those people who doubted the veracity of this news no longer dared to doubt it. The facts were placed in front of them. If this news wasn't true, then why would Duan Lingtian leave the Hidden Fog sect and join the Linghu family? As for the news of Duan Lingtian betraying the Hidden Fog sect, this news filled the Hidden Fog sect's disciples with righteous indignation. As for those outside, they didn't think much of it. They even thought that Duan Lingtian's choice was the best choice. Otherwise, would he have continued to stay in the Hidden Fog sect and waited for Old Man Feng and Old Man Lei to find him for revenge? Duan Lingtian's name had spread through Linghu city for a long time. It wasn't until recently that the rumors stopped a little. But at this time, the Linghu family sent out news that caused Duan Lingtian's name to become the focus of everyone's attention once more. He refined the limit divine pill. In a private room of a restaurant in Linghu City, an old man sat at a table with an ugly expression on his face. He crushed the teacup in his hand, but the teacup did not splatter. Instead, there was a faintly discernible bolt of lightning wrapped around his hand. With a wave of his hand, the teacup fragments turned into arrows that shot out, piercing through the wall and flying away. "Honorable Master, please calm your anger." Beside the old man, a young man who was originally sitting there felt the old man's anger. He hurriedly stood up and looked at the old man with a nervous expression. If Duan Lingtian was here and saw this young man, he would be able to recognize him with just a glance. This young man was none other than Shi Tongming, the core disciple who invited him to become Elder Lei's disciple after his battle with Tu Feng on the Hidden Fog sect's ultimate martial platform. At that time he had rejected Shi Tongming. He thought that this matter would end like this, but he never imagined that this was only the beginning. Later, another disciple of Elder Lei who was also Shi Tongming's senior apprentice brother, Long Xiao, harbored a grudge because of this. He joined forces with Shangguan Xiongfeng to bully Shi Tongming and even forcefully took away the 2 revival good fortune pills Shi Tongming had just obtained from Wu Feng. However, not long after, the 2 of them died at the hands of Duan Lingtian, becoming the perfect example of, if you don't do something you won't die. Tongming. The old man was Elder Lei. He looked at the young man with a gloomy expression and asked, "If I give up on avenging your senior apprentice brother, do you think he will blame me?" "Honorable Master." Shi Tongming bitterly smiled and said, "Senior apprentice brother definitely won't blame you. Honorable Master, I have always advised you not to make an enemy out of that Duan Lingtian. That Duan Lingtian is too monstrous, so monstrous that he doesn't seem like a normal person. Based on this news, if he really has a powerful background, I'm afraid he's from a divine emperor force at the very least. Moreover, it's not an ordinary divine emperor force. Rumor has it that he's from a Devata realm, but can there be such a monstrous genius in a Devata realm? He's not even 3,000 years old, and his cultivation base is only at the primitive divine king stage. He's able to kill ordinary superior divine kings and emperor-grade divine alchemists. Even the most outstanding prodigies from the top divine emperor forces in Tunglung province can't compare to him at his age. Honorable Master, I know you're angry about senior brother's death, but think about it from another perspective. If senior brother didn't target Duan Lingtian wouldn't have made a move on senior brother. Shi Tongming persuaded his master. Shi Tongming persuaded his master. He really didn't want his master to become enemies with Duan Lingtian. When he first saw Duan Lingtian, he felt like he couldn't see through Duan Lingtian. Because of this, even when Duan Lingtian rejected him, he didn't say anything. This was because he could see that Duan Lingtian was a person with a firm will. Once he made a decision, he wouldn't change it easily. Later, when Duan Lingtian returned to the Hidden Fog sect as a primitive divine king, he killed his senior brother Long Xiao and Shangguan Xiongfeng. This made him realize how terrifying Duan Lingtian was. Now, after learning that Duan Lingtian was able to refine an ultimate divine pill at such a young age, he was shocked. Even if the first, second, and third divine pills were only spirit-grade divine pills, one needed to be at least an emperor-grade divine pill master to refine them into an ultimate divine pill. Moreover, ordinary emperor-grade divine pill masters might not be able to do it. At the very least, the emperor-grade divine pill masters in the Hidden Fog sect were far from being able to do it. Elder Thunder sighed. In an instant he seemed to age a great deal. He looked at Shi Tongming and said, "Tongming, go to the Linghu family in my place and look for that Duan Lingtian. Tell him that my disciple Long Xiao provoked him and he killed Long Xiao. Long Xiao brought this upon himself and I will not pursue the matter any further. From now on, the debt between us is settled." Elder Lei had compromised. Whether it was because of the monstrous talent Duan Lingtian displayed or the unknown background of Duan Lingtian, Elder Thunder retreated. The reason he appeared in Linghu City was to find a chance to capture Duan Lingtian and bring him back to the Hidden Fog sect. All of this was because of the death of his disciple Long Xiao. But now he let it go. He had a strong premonition that if he continued to be enemies with Duan Lingtian, not only would he and his other disciples be implicated, but even the Hidden Fog sect might be implicated. Chapter 3757. Long Xiao was only one of Elder Lei's many disciples. Although he was one of his favorite disciples, To Elder Lei, who had lived for tens of thousands of years, losing this disciple wouldn't affect him too much. And the reason he wanted to take revenge for Long Xiao was because of their relationship as master and disciple. But it was more for his face. His hidden fog sect's Elder Lei's disciple had been killed and he couldn't take revenge? If news of this were to spread out, it would be shameful. And now, the more he understood Duanling Tian, the more terrified he became. He no longer wanted to be enemies with the Duanling Tian. Even if it was shameful, he would accept it. The unknown was always the most terrifying. Yes, honorable master. Hearing Elder Lei's words, Shi Tongming's eyes brightened. At the same time, he secretly relaxed. He was also worried that his honorable master would continue to oppose the Duanling Tian. If that happened, he didn't know when he would be targeted by the Duanling Tian. Even his senior apprentice brother Long Xiao, who was much stronger than him, had died at the hands of the Duanling Tian. If he were targeted by the Duanling Tian, he wouldn't have a good ending. I will wait here for you to return. Once you return, we will return to the sect. Elder Lei said. Yes. Shi Tongming respectfully responded once more. Then he left the restaurant and went straight to the Linghu family. I am looking for your Linghu family's exalted, Duanling Tian. My name is Shi Tongming. I am a disciple of the Hidden Fog sect's Elder Lei. I have no ill intentions. After being stopped by a patrolling disciple of the Linghu family, Shi Tongming quickly spoke. When he said that he was a disciple of the Hidden Fog sect, he could see that the patrolling disciple of the Linghu family had an unfriendly look in his eyes. Wait here, I will report to Exalted Duan. When the patrolling disciple of the Linghu family mentioned Exalted Duan, his eyes revealed a look of respect. Exalted Duan was publicly recognized as the #1 genius of the Linghu family's younger generation. In addition to his achievements in alchemy, all the younger disciples of the Linghu family viewed him as an idol. And this patrolling disciple was one of them. Shi Tongming? As for Duanling Tian, who was in the middle of refining a king-level divine pill, when he heard the report from the housekeeper Wang Fu outside the door, he was stunned for a moment. Then he directly said, Uncle Fu, tell that brother to bring him over. Yes, young master. Under Wang Fu's instructions, the patrolling disciple returned to the Linghu family's residence and personally brought Shi Tongming to Duanling Tian's residence. At this time, Duanling Tian had also walked out of the room and saw Shi Tongming in the courtyard. We meet again. Seeing Shi Tongming again, Duanling Tian felt as if a lifetime had passed. The last time he saw Shi Tongming was after he killed the disciple of the Hidden Fog sect's second elder, Tu Feng. At that time, Shi Tongming had come on behalf of his honorable master, wanting to accept him as a disciple. But he had been rejected. However, Shi Tongming was not angry. After receiving his reply, he left. At that time, Shi Tongming was a core disciple. Although he was polite when facing Duanling Tian, the invisible arrogance he exuded was clearly visible. And now, after Shi Tongming saw him, he bowed and respectfully said, Foreign Elder Duan. Is there something you need from me? Duanling Tian looked at Shi Tongming and bluntly asked. Shi Tongming nodded. Foreign Elder Duan, my honorable master asked me to come. He is in Linghu City. Elder Lei came to Linghu City? Duanling Tian smiled, not at all surprised. Why did Elder Lei ask you to look for me? Could it be that he wants you to lure me out so that he can capture me and bring me back to the Hidden Fog sect? Hearing Duanling Tian's words, Shi Tongming immediately felt a bit embarrassed. Honorable Master came to Linghu City because he wanted to find a chance to capture you and bring you back to the Hidden Fog sect. He and Elder Feng agreed that they would each take turns coming to Linghu City for a year. Recently, he has been in Linghu City. But, speaking to here, Shi Tongming paused for a moment before continuing. Today, after learning that you refined the Limit Divine Pill, Honorable Master thought for a moment and finally came to a decision. He asked me to tell you that Long Xiao provoked you first and was killed by you. He deserved it. From now on he will no longer think of taking revenge for Long Xiao. You and him are even. Shi Tongming's words left Duanling Tian a bit surprised. He never thought that after news of him refining the Limit Divine Pill spread out, it would cause the Hidden Fog sect's Elder Lei to have such thoughts. Elder Lei couldn't be deliberately lowering my guard so that he can attack me, right? Duanling Tian looked deeply at Shi Tongming and asked with a smile. And Shi Tongming's response to Duanling Tian was to directly swear a heart demon blood oath in front of Duanling Tian. He said that Elder Lei didn't want to be enemies with Duanling Tian. At the very least, he couldn't see through Elder Lei's lies. All right. Duanling Tian nodded. Go back and tell Elder Lei. I have no enmity with him to begin with. It was his disciple Long Xiao who provoked me first. Now that Long Xiao is dead, it can be considered retribution. In the future, as long as Elder Lei doesn't become enemies with me, I won't regard him as an enemy. And the reason Shi Tongming came here was to hear these words from Duan Lingtian. After hearing these words, he revealed a smile. He bowed and cupped his hands together. Then I thank Exalted Duan on behalf of my honorable master. Exalted Duan, my goal has been achieved. I will take my leave first. Shi Tongming left the Linghu family and returned to the restaurant to meet up with Elder Lei. Then Elder Lei brought him out of Linghu City and returned to the Hidden Fog sect. After returning to the Hidden Fog sect, Elder Lei immediately sought out the Hidden Fog sect master, Qianyin. He told Qianyin everything he heard in Linghu City as well as his final decision. I don't recommend becoming enemies with Duan Lingtian. Even if we disregard his background with his personal ability, his rise is just around the corner. In a few more years, he might be able to deal with our Hidden Fog sect by himself. You should know what it means to be a divine alchemist who can refine the limit of divine pills. Elder Lei said in a low voice. Qianyin's expression changed when he heard this. After weighing the pros and cons, he nodded and said, "You're right to be concerned. Since you're willing to let go of Long Zhao's hatred, why can't I let go? From now on, the Hidden Fog sect will no longer be enemies with Duan Lingtian." Qianyin also made his decision. There is one more thing. As Elder Lei spoke, he looked deeply at Qianyin. Regarding the Hidden Fog sect's disciples believing Duan Lingtian to be ungrateful, I hope you can refute these rumors. Sometimes when you plant your own seed, you have to eat the fruit you bear. Qianyin couldn't help but bitterly smile at Elder Lei's words. So you know everything. Do you think I don't understand your personality? After Elder Lei spoke these words, he turned and prepared to leave. But as Qianyin saw Elder Lei step away and leave, he quickly said to him, "As for Elder Feng, please help me pass on a message. He might not listen to me." "I know." Elder Lei lightly responded. "I will go find him now." And when Elder Lei found Elder Feng and told him everything he heard in Linghu City, Elder Feng fell silent. Then, Elder Lei said that he didn't want to be enemies with Duan Lingtian and that the Hidden Fog sect also didn't have any plans to be enemies with Duan Lingtian. "I understand." Elder Feng nodded. From start to finish, his expression was calm, without any joy or sorrow. "Old Feng." Elder Lei sighed. "Look on the bright side, live a few more years and be killed by heavenly tribulation. That is our final destination. Do you want to be killed in advance? Although my words are a bit groundless, it isn't completely impossible." Elder Lei advised. "I know." Elder Feng's lips finally curved up in a smile. Seeing this, Elder Lei felt relieved and left. However, after Elder Lei left, the smile on Elder Feng's face turned into a cold smile in an instant. His originally calm eyes suddenly burst out with a cold light. "Long Xiao isn't related to you by blood, so you can naturally forget about it. But Xiong Feng is my grandson. He is also the only bloodline I have left. The enmity of killing my grandson is absolutely irreconcilable." Elder Feng took a deep breath. After that instant of eruption, he restrained his emotions once more. His expression was calm as if nothing had happened. That Duan Lingtian was in Skywind City. After Elder Feng regained his composure, he left the Hidden Fog sect like a wild crane and soon arrived at Skywind City. Skywind City was a small city near the Hidden Fog sect. The most powerful force here was the Hidden Fog Academy under the Hidden Fog sect. And now, Elder Feng had come to Skywind City without going to the Hidden Fog Academy. He didn't even alarm anyone there. It was as if he was an outsider who had come to Skywind City. After staying in Heavenly Wind City for a month, he left and returned to the Hidden Fog sect. During this month, although he didn't go to the Hidden Mist Academy and didn't alert anyone there, he still secretly inquired about a lot of things. Duan Lingtian has two close friends in the Hidden Fog Academy. Duan Lingtian said. One is called Ding Yan. He has already left the Hidden Fog Academy. The other is called Ho Qingning. He is the young sect master of a God King level sect. I'll wait for a while and try to use that Ho Qingning to threaten that Duan Lingtian to leave the Linghu family. When that time comes, I'll find someone to kill that Duan Lingtian. With a plan in mind, Elder Feng returned to the Hidden Fog sect and calmed down. Whether it was the Hidden Fog sect master Qianyin or Elder Lei, they naturally believed that Elder Feng had already let go of his hatred for Duan Lingtian. And in the following period of time, Qianyin ordered people to refute the rumors within the Hidden Fog sect. They said that Duan Lingtian hadn't betrayed the Hidden Fog sect, and that Duan Lingtian had killed Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Shao because they had tried to kill him first. He had only killed them in self-defense. The sect ruled that he wasn't guilty. In addition, the Hidden Fog sect also wished him well in the Linghu family. Chapter 3758. As the Hidden Fog sect Master Qian Yin personally issued an order to refute the rumors, the entire Hidden Fog sect was in an uproar. It was impossible for a normal person to believe these words. Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Shao wanted to kill Duan Lingtian. Everyone in the Hidden Fog sect knew of this. Even so, Duan Lingtian killing two people couldn't be considered self-defense. It was impossible for him to be innocent. After all, Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Shao weren't ordinary core disciples. They were disciples of Elder Wind and Elder Thunder, two of the Hidden Fog sect's four highest elders. Normally speaking, it was impossible for Elder Wind and Elder Thunder to give up on this matter. But now, it was clear that Elder Wind and Elder Thunder didn't plan on pursuing this matter. What is this situation? Is this a smokescreen? A smokescreen? That's right. Perhaps the sect intentionally released such news in order to make Duan Lingtian lower his guard before making a move against him. I don't think that's possible. There's no need for that. In any case, Duan Lingtian's matter has come to an end. At the very least, it seems the sect master doesn't plan on pursuing this matter. I'm really curious. What happened after this? As everyone in the Hidden Fog sect was discussing this, the Hidden Fog sect's second elder, Wu Fengyin, also received news. His complexion changed. Last time, when news of Duan Lingtian being an ungrateful traitor spread through the Hidden Fog sect, he had a feeling that the entire Hidden Fog sect was hostile to Duan Lingtian. Thus, he wasn't worried that Duan Lingtian would hold a grudge against him because his disciple was Tu Feng. But now, after learning the sect master's attitude, he felt an unprecedented sense of crisis. Now, should I leave the sect or ask the sect master why the sect doesn't care about Duan Lingtian killing Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Shao? Thoughts raced through Wu Fengyin's mind. He soon made a decision. He would go find the sect master. Sect master. Wu Fengyin was the Hidden Fog sect's second elder. If he wanted to find the Hidden Fog sect's sect master Qian Yin, he just needed to greet him. Second elder? Do you need something? Qian Yin asked doubtfully. Sect leader, why did the sect suddenly stop targeting Duan Lingtian? He killed Elder Feng and Elder Lei's beloved disciple. Could it be that Elder Feng and Elder Lei are not going to pursue this matter? Wu Fengyin asked straightforwardly. Yes. Qian Yin nodded. I won't pursue the matter. Second elder, you came here just to ask me this? Qian Yin became even more puzzled. Then, as if he had thought of something, he looked at Wu Fengyin with vigilance. Second elder, don't tell me that you did something to Duan Lingtian before he left the sect? No. Wu Fengyin quickly shook his head. I wanted to do something to him, but I couldn't find an opportunity. However, my first disciple, Tu Feng, was killed by him, so I'm worried that he will be afraid that I will seek revenge in the future, so he will act against me in advance. I see. Qian Yin nodded and said indifferently, don't worry, as long as you don't provoke him, he probably won't do anything to you. Perhaps by now he has already forgotten about you. You might think that you are the Hidden Fog sect's second elder, but in his eyes, I'm afraid he really doesn't care about you. Qian Yin spoke in a roundabout manner. In truth, what he wanted to say was, Duan Lingtian simply doesn't place you Wu Fengyin in his eyes. Of course, Wu Fengyin definitely understood Qian Yin's words. He couldn't help but bitterly smile. Sect leader, you still haven't told me. Why did Elder Feng and Elder Lei not pursue this matter? Could it be that they have already confirmed Duan Lingtian's identity and background? Who is he? Someone from a God-Emperor level influence? Wu Fengyin asked again. We don't know his identity yet. Qian Yin shook his head. We don't know his identity? Wu Fengyin was stunned. Then he asked in confusion, since we haven't confirmed that his identity isn't to be trifled with, Elder Feng and Elder Lei won't pursue this matter? That shouldn't be possible, right? In Wu Fengyin's opinion, those two weren't easy to deal with. They were existences that wouldn't act until they saw a rabbit. It wouldn't be easy for them to compromise. In any case, you'll find out in the future. It doesn't matter if I tell you in advance. Qian Yin's eyes flashed. This decision was made by Elder Lei from the very beginning. Elder Lei went to Linghu City and has been waiting there all this time. He was waiting for Duan Lingtian to leave the Linghu family mansion so that he could catch him off guard and bring him back to our hidden fog sect. If he really has a background, we will naturally let him go. If he doesn't, we will kill him to avenge Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. Speaking of this, Jianyin paused for a moment before continuing. However, plans can't keep up with changes. Some time ago, Elder Lei. After Jianyin spoke of the news that their hidden fog sect's Elder Lei heard in Linghu City, Wu Fengyin was naturally shocked. That Duan Lingtian refined a peak divine pill? Although he wasn't a divine alchemist, he still knew what a peak divine pill was and what it meant. Besides his heaven-defying talent and perception, he even has such attainments in alchemy? Is he even human? Wu Fengyin found this inconceivable. And now he finally understood why Elder Lei didn't pursue the matter of Duan Lingtian killing Long Xiao, even if he wasn't sure if Duan Lingtian had some great background behind him. Even if Duan Lingtian didn't have any background, just from what he had shown so far, it was enough to see that he had a boundless future. For such a character, unless one really offended him and had no choice but to eliminate him by the roots, no one would be willing to become enemies with him as long as there was a chance. Putting himself in Elder Lei's shoes, he might have made the same decision if he stood in Elder Lei's shoes. Sect Master is right. Perhaps he doesn't care about me at all. Wu Fengyin bitterly smiled. He felt that he was overthinking things. That Duan Lingtian had killed his disciple and Elder Lei's disciple. But since he didn't plan to bother with Elder Lei, how could he remember him, Wu Fengyin? Duan Lingtian only heard about the Hidden Fog sect 2 months later. The Hidden Fog sect no longer viewed him as a traitor. Moreover, they publicly blessed him as a member of the Linghu family. The change in attitude was like the difference between heaven and earth. I never thought that just refining a peak spirit-level divine pill would cause Elder Lei and even the Hidden Fog sect to cower in fear. This was something Duan Lingtian never imagined. Of course, now that he thought about it, it wasn't hard for him to imagine the stakes involved. The alchemy prowess he displayed was far more intimidating than his personal strength. In terms of strength, he was comparable to an outstanding upper god king. And in a god emperor level influence like the Hidden Fog sect, his strength wasn't considered much. Any random god emperor could suppress him. But, in terms of alchemy prowess, no one in the entire Hidden Fog sect could compare with him. Even if it was just refining a peak spirit level divine pill, no one in the Hidden Fog sect could do it. This time, it can be said that I unintentionally planted a willow and the willow became a shade. Duan Lingtian wasn't too happy about the Hidden Fog sect taking the initiative to reconcile. But to have one less enemy was still a good thing. After all, the Hidden Fog sect didn't have any deep enmity with him. Everything was because of Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. After killing Shangguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao, there wasn't a single person in the Hidden Fog sect that he viewed as an enemy. This was because there wasn't a third person who had provoked him. Speaking of alchemy, when I return, I should find a chance to try and see if I can really refine a peak king level divine pill. Recently, Duan Lingtian had been wholeheartedly researching alchemy in the Linghu family. When he wasn't refining pills, he would discuss alchemy with the Linghu family's chief alchemist, Lin Yan. From Lin Yan, he had gradually laid down the foundation for refining higher-grade divine pills. At the very least, he could now refine an ordinary king-level divine pill. Of course, in the process of refining a king-level divine pill, he didn't pour in too much life force. This was because he was worried that he would refine another peak divine pill. A peak spirit-level divine pill was fine. But if it was a peak king-level divine pill, once news spread out, even God Emperor level influences, bandits and wandering cultivator powerhouses wouldn't be able to sit still. If it was a God Emperor level influence that wanted him to be a consecrator or something, that would be fine. But he was afraid that the wandering cultivators and bandits would take action. They would kidnap him and force him to refine divine pills. If he didn't comply, they would torture him or kill him. Thus, Duan Lingtian kept a low profile this time. However, his heart was still in turmoil. He was prepared to find a chance to go outside and refine a king-level divine pill. But I can't go out for now. Even if the Hidden Fog sect doesn't attack me, who knows if the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder Kuang Tianjing is still in Linghu City. Once Kuang Tianjing makes a move, as long as he isn't in the Linghu family mansion, even if the Linghu family's Heng and Huan elders are there, it will be difficult for them to protect me. Duan Lingtian had already learned about Kuang Tianjing's cultivation from the Linghu family's patriarch, Linghu Renjia. He also knew that Kuang Tianjing was a middle god emperor. Moreover, he was much stronger than an ordinary middle god emperor. I'll think about going out after some time. Even if Kuang Tianjing is still in Linghu City, waiting for me to come out of the Linghu family mansion, waiting for me to come out. He will definitely be impatient after waiting for several years. When cultivating, one had no concept of time. However, if one were to concentrate and wait for a person to come out from a certain place, it would be equivalent to counting down the seconds. Even a god emperor powerhouse like Kuang Tianjing wouldn't be able to endure this torment after several years. Time flew by. 2 years passed in the blink of an eye. Whoosh. A figure flew out from the hidden fog sect station and headed towards Skywind City. It was one of the 4 grand elders of the hidden fog sect, Elder Feng. However, when this Elder Feng left the hidden fog sect and headed to Skywind City, he had changed his clothes. His entire body was shrouded in black robes and a hood. Unless one was extremely close, it was impossible to see his appearance. After entering Skywind City, he went straight to the Hidden Fog Academy. But no one in the huge Hidden Fog Academy noticed him entering. Who are you? The door to his personal dormitory was suddenly kicked open. The 10-star student, Ho Qingning, who was cultivating, suddenly opened his eyes. When he saw the black-robed person in front of him, his expression changed. Chapter 3759. Who are you? Almost as soon as Ho Qingning's expression changed, he saw the black-robed man who had broken through the door in front of him waving his hand casually. A terrifying force swept over and bound his entire body. Want free to see the whole version, please? Wait, search, product equals book equals network. His restless divine power was instantly suppressed and calmed down. It was as if a raging sea was suddenly stopped by a needle. The powerful force that enveloped him not only suppressed his divine power, but also made it difficult for him to breathe. He opened his mouth to ask for help, but found that he couldn't make a sound. Even his eyelids were forcefully closed by the pressure. Oh, oh, oh. A slight wind blew past his ears. Ho Qingning knew that he had been taken out of the dormitory, and possibly even out of the Hidden Fog Academy. At this moment he felt a chill all over his body. Who was this person? Was he an enemy of the 10,000 Leaves sect? But when did the 10,000 Leaves sect have such a powerful enemy? Even the strongest person in the 10,000 Leaves sect, his uncle, didn't have the ability to take him out of the dormitory without alerting the dean of the Hidden Fog sect? It had to be known that the 10-star academy dormitory he lived in was the one closest to the Hidden Fog sect's dean and teachers. Usually, no matter what happened there, it wouldn't escape the eyes of the teachers of the Hidden Fog Academy. Even if the teachers couldn't find it, the dean would. After all, the dean was a divine emperor powerhouse. Who is he? Our 10,000 Leaves sect would never provoke such a powerful existence. A high divine king? Or a divine emperor powerhouse? At this moment, Ho Qingning's heart was filled with apprehension. At the same time, his mind began to work quickly. Such a powerhouse could kill me as easily as killing a chicken. But he didn't kill me. Instead, he took me away. In other words, he might not want to kill me. Or, in his eyes, I have no value. Now Ho Qingning was both anxious and confused. He didn't know what had happened and why this powerhouse took him away from the Hidden Fog Academy. Who did he offend? Or rather, had the 10,000 Leaves sect offended someone? He couldn't figure it out at all. Bang. Just as Ho Qingning was still at a loss, he suddenly heard a loud noise, and then he felt a sharp pain in his back. It was obvious that he had knocked over something. When his body landed on the ground, he realized that the powerful force that had enveloped him had faded away. The divine power in his body was no longer suppressed, and he could finally open his eyes. However, even though his divine power was no longer suppressed, Ho Qingning did not have the courage to use his divine power. This was because his opponent was much stronger than him. Perhaps the other party only needed a finger to crush him to death. However, Ho Qingning still opened his eyes. He wanted to see who had kidnapped him. Was it someone he had inadvertently offended, or was it someone the 10,000 Leaves sect had offended? Senior, may I know, why have you brought me here? The moment he opened his eyes, Ho Qingning found that he had been brought to a wasteland. At this moment he was sitting with his back against a tree. Just now, the black-robed man in front of him had obviously thrown him onto the tree trunk. At this moment, Ho Qingning looked at the black-robed man whose back was facing him. His face was filled with confusion and confusion. Do you see the city in front? However, the black-robed man did not reply to Ho Qingning. He looked ahead and asked in a hoarse voice. Although the voice was hoarse, Ho Qingning could tell that it was an old man's voice. However, Ho Qingning could not help but follow the other party's gaze. With just one glance he was stunned. This is 10,000 Leaves City? 10,000 Leaves City was not unfamiliar to Ho Qingning. In fact, he was very familiar with it because he had grown up in 10,000 Leaves City. 10,000 Leaves City was completely controlled by the 10,000 Leaves sect behind him. Although it was not as big as Tianfeng City, it was still a bustling city. From Tianfeng City to 10,000 Leaves City? Suddenly, Ho Qingning felt his scalp go numb because he thought of the distance between Tianfeng City and 10,000 Leaves City. To be able to bring him here at such a fast speed, even a powerful higher divine king would not be able to do that. Unless it was a divine emperor expert. A divine emperor expert? When Ho Qingning looked at the black-robed man again, his heart twitched. It was hard to imagine why such an existence would target him and kidnap him from the Hidden Fog Academy. Moreover, he was bringing him back to 10,000 Leaves City. He did not think that the other party was kind enough to bring him home. The other party must have a reason for bringing him here. Senior? Ho Qingning asked in a trembling voice. You brought me here. Is there a reason? I and the 10,000 Leaves sect should not offend you, Senior? At this moment, Ho Qingning's heart was as anxious as it could be. With the strength of this expert in front of him, killing him or even destroying the 10,000 Leaves sect would be as easy as blowing off dust. You and the 10,000 Leaves sect have not offended me. The black-robed man's back was facing Ho Qingning as he spoke slowly. Then, Senior, this is... Hearing this, Ho Qingning breathed a sigh of relief and could not resist the temptation. You are friends with Duan Lingtian? Ho Qingning, who had just breathed a sigh of relief, heard the black-robed man's words and his expression changed drastically. At the same time, he suddenly realized that the person in front of him had come for Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian. To be able to meet Duan Lingtian and become friends with him was something that Ho Qingning had always been proud of. Even after Duan Lingtian left the Hidden Fog sect and went to the Linghu family, the entire Hidden Fog sect scolded Duan Lingtian for being ungrateful and the entire Hidden Fog Academy questioned Duan Lingtian's character. Even so, Ho Qingning's confidence in Duan Lingtian never wavered. Although he hadn't known Duan Lingtian for long, he knew that Duan Lingtian was not an ungrateful person. Moreover, Ho Qingning's family background was extraordinary, so he was well aware of some matters within the sect. Duan Lingtian had killed Shengguan Xiongfeng and Long Xiao. The two grand elders of the Hidden Fog sect, Elder Feng and Elder Lei, would never let this matter go. The reason Duan Lingtian was able to smoothly go to the Linghu family was definitely because Elder Feng and Elder Lei didn't stop him. Afterwards, the Hidden Fog sect released news that sect master Qian Yin personally refuted the rumors. He said that Duan Lingtian was not an ungrateful person and that the Hidden Fog sect blessed Duan Lingtian with a bright future in the Linghu family. At that time, Ho Qingning knew that the grudges between Duan Lingtian and the Hidden Fog sect had come to an end. At the very least, the Hidden Fog sect would no longer openly be enemies with Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian is awesome. At that time this was his only thought. At the same time he was also puzzled. He didn't know why the Hidden Fog sect suddenly changed their attitude towards Duan Lingtian. It wasn't until several months later that he received news from Linghu City that he was completely enlightened. Duan Lingtian had refined a peak-grade divine pill. Although it was only a peak-grade spirit-level divine pill, his alchemy skills were something that even the divine alchemists of a divine emperor-level influence like the Hidden Fog sect couldn't compare with. At the very least, one needs to be an outstanding emperor-level divine alchemist to be able to refine a peak-grade spirit-level divine pill. Ho Qingning was well aware of this point. It was also because of this that he understood why the Hidden Fog sect had backed down. They didn't want to drift further and further away from Duan Lingtian and even become enemies with him. To put it bluntly, the Hidden Fog sect was terrified. When he learned of this, he was happy for Duan Lingtian from the bottom of his heart. This was because after Duan Lingtian went to the Linghu family, he had been worried about Duan Lingtian. He originally wanted to send a message to Duan Lingtian to ask about his current situation. But as he thought of Duan Lingtian's current achievements and status, and as he looked at himself, he finally dispelled the idea of sending a message. If he sent a message he would only be able to chat a bit. Ho Qingning wouldn't be able to help much. Unknowingly, the friend he once felt wasn't too far away from had already left him in the dust, leaving him in the dust. He can't be considered a friend. Facing the black-robed man's question, Ho Qingning was vigilant. He shook his head and said, before he went to the Hidden Fog sect, he was also a 10-star student of my Hidden Fog Academy. I just got along well with him. Is that so? The black-robed man's tone suddenly changed, becoming a bit unfriendly. Then do you have his soul bead? I don't. Ho Qingning shook his head. Now that he could see that this black-robed man was targeting Duan Lingtian, he naturally had to be cautious. This black-robed man clearly wanted him to be an accomplice in dealing with Duan Lingtian. I'll give you one more chance. The black-robed man spoke again, his voice cold and gloomy. This time, if you don't answer truthfully, in a quarter of an hour, I will let you see the head of your father, the 10,000 Leaves sect master. As soon as the black-robed man said this, Ho Qingning's complexion changed. He never imagined that this divine emperor powerhouse would be so despicable as to use his father to threaten him. He didn't doubt this black-robed man's strength. This black-robed man had the ability to kill his father and even exterminate the entire 10,000 Leaves sect. Speak. The black-robed man urged. Yes. In the end, no matter how unwilling Ho Qingning was in his heart, he still spoke the truth. At some unknown time, his fists were tightly clenched together. He felt incomparably guilty. Duan Lingtian, I'm sorry, I can't help it. Very good. The black-robed man nodded in satisfaction. Then he said, now, follow me to Jianghu city. As long as you cooperate, I guarantee that I won't touch a single hair on your 10,000 Leaves sect. But if you don't cooperate, I don't mind exterminating your entire 10,000 Leaves sect. As he spoke, the black-robed man's tone suddenly turned cold, giving people the feeling that they had fallen into an ice cellar. This caused Ho Qingning's face to tremble, his pupils constricted, and his hair to stand on end. Who are you? What do you want? Ho Qingning asked coldly as he looked at the black-robed man with a gloomy expression. Lingtian wore reverent. Chapter 3760. Duan Lingtian had been very anxious and conflicted lately. It had been 2 years since he was able to officially refine a king-level divine pill. He had always wanted to try refining a king-level divine pill, but he didn't want to do so as long as he didn't leave the Jianghu clan. He was afraid that he would encounter some trouble later on. Ordinary troubles were one thing, but he was afraid of encountering crazy, loose cultivators and bandits who would directly attack and kidnap him. Even the Jianghu family couldn't resist some of these people. But for now he was fine. True experts wouldn't bother with him, and the Jianghu family had the ability to defend against those who weren't that strong. They could protect him. Logically speaking, now that I can even refine royal-grade divine pills, with my ability to sense the life energy in the heaven and earth spiritual energy, I should be able to extract it. It shouldn't be a problem for me to refine king-grade divine pills. Over the past 2 years, I've been using ordinary king-grade divine pills to aid my cultivation, but my cultivation progress has been minimal. Moreover, I've been using the same type of divine pill for a long time, so it's inevitable that I'll develop a resistance to it. If I can concoct a few king-grade divine pills that can aid in cultivation and turn them into ultimate-grade divine pills, it will be a great help to my cultivation. Over the past 2 years, even the Jianghu family's chief divine pill master, Lin Yan, had frequently visited Duan Lingtian to see if Duan Lingtian could refine a supreme king-grade divine pill. However, Duan Lingtian had always held back, so Lin Yan had always returned disappointed. Recently, he hadn't even come to see Duan Lingtian. According to his original words, Consecrator Duan, I'm asking too much of you. The peak spirit-grade divine pill is something that many emperor-grade divine pill refiners can refine. However, even an emperor-grade divine pill master might not be able to refine a supreme king-grade divine pill. Take the old clan leader of the Tianlong clan for example. He's someone that all the top emperor-grade forces in Tunglung province want to invite, but I've never heard of him being able to refine a supreme king-grade divine pill. Every time, Lin Yan was afraid that Duan Lingtian would be discouraged, so he patiently comforted Duan Lingtian. Little did he know that Duan Lingtian had been holding back all along. Let's wait for a few more months. Normally speaking, the inner sect elder of the Tianlong clan, Kuang Tianjing, can't stay in Jianghu city forever. If I were him, I would have lost my patience long ago. Now, Duan Lingtian desperately needed a peak-level king-grade divine pellet to aid his cultivation. Otherwise, no matter how hard he worked, his progress would be limited. Of course, in the eyes of others, that little bit of progress was already considered extremely fast. However, in his opinion it was extremely slow. This was because he couldn't possibly take the normal path like a normal person. He had to take a shortcut, otherwise, there was no way he could bring Kerr back from the world of divine remains. Even if Jianghu Chuyin was Kerr, he still had to obtain the approval of the family behind Kerr. Even if Kerr didn't care, this was something that he had to do. All in all, there was not much time left for him. In just over 300 years, if he took the normal path, he might not even be able to enter the Celestial Lord realm, let alone the Celestial Emperor realm or the Godly Venerable realm. The Xia clan of the World of Divine Remains is a Godly Venerable realm clan. Duan Lingtian did not know about this in the past. However, after coming to the Linghu family and spending some time in the Linghu family's library, he read about the records of the top forces in the various planes of gods in an ancient book in the library. The Xia clan of the World of Divine Remains was included in the book. According to the ancient book, there were less than 10 forces in each plane of gods. There were more than a dozen planes of gods, but there were only slightly more than 100 forces recorded in the book. These slightly more than 100 godly venerable realm forces basically represented the top forces in the various planes of gods. Apart from the Xia clan of the World of Divine Remains, the Yun clan of the World of Divine Remains is also a godly venerable realm force. According to the ancient book, the Yun clan is one of the 8 godly venerable realm forces in the World of Divine Remains. Duan Lingtian's main goal was to save Ke and obtain the Xia clan's approval. In that case, killing Yun Qingyan would be Duan Lingtian's secondary goal. In the past, that face that looked down on him and despised him was something he would never forget for the rest of his life. There would come a day when he would trample that arrogant youth under his feet and let him experience what it was like to look up at someone. All of these were the motivation for Duan Lingtian to move forward. Duan Lingtian did not expect to receive a message about Kuang Tianjing from the clan leader of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjie, a few days later. However, Linghu Renjie's tone betrayed his fear. Duan Lingtian, I've received an invitation from the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder, Kuang Tianjing. The invitation clearly states that his second disciple will be marrying the daughter of the Tianlong clan's vice sect leader Shui. He's invited me to attend the ceremony. The invitation specifically stated that I had to bring you along. Toward the end of Linghu Renjie's message, the tone of his voice gradually turned serious. After he finished speaking, Linghu Renjie continued, I definitely won't bring you along. If I bring you along, even if you can successfully attend the ceremony, it'll be very difficult for you to come back with me alive. I'm sending you this message so that you can be mentally prepared. That Kuang Tianjing is related to the Tianlong clan's vice sect leader Shui. Things are different now. In the future, if he wants to deal with you, he'll be able to mobilize even more power. Linghu Renjie said. Of course, our Linghu family has been in the Tianlong clan for many years. Even if Kuang Tianjing suddenly has such a connection, we don't fear him. Our Linghu family is also related to the Tianlong clan's vice sect leader by marriage. Moreover, it's an elder of our Linghu family who married the son of the Tianlong clan's vice sect leader. That vice sect leader's son is now the Tianlong clan's white dragon elder. Linghu Renjie continued. The status of the Tianlong clan's white dragon elder was above that of the inner sect elders. Duan Lingtian had heard this from Linghu Renjie in the past. Patriarch, I understand. Duan Lingtian responded. At the same time, he was somewhat happy because this meant that Kuang Tianjing was no longer waiting for him in Linghu City. He could leave the Linghu family. As for the Kuang Tianjing's relationship with the Tianlong clan's vice sect leader, Duan Lingtian began to feel somewhat apprehensive. However, after hearing from Linghu Renjie that the Linghu family also had another vice sect leader in the Tianlong clan, Duan Lingtian didn't care as much. At the very least, he could guarantee that when he entered the Tianlong clan and joined the Linghu family in the future, he wouldn't be suppressed by the Kuang Tianjing's forces to the point where he couldn't raise his head. In the next period of time, I'll prepare the herbs needed to refine the king-grade divine pills. In addition, I'll also prepare the herbs needed to refine the emperor-grade divine pills. If I'm lucky, it'll be great if I can refine 1 or 2 emperor-grade divine pills. Over the next few days, Duan Lingtian looked forward to his trip to the celestial realm and hoped that he would be able to refine a supreme royal divine pill. 3 days later, after bidding farewell to Duan Lingtian, Linghu Renjie left the Linghu family and headed to the Tianlong clan to attend the wedding of the Kuang Tianjing's second disciple. If it was only the wedding of the Kuang Tianjing's second disciple and an ordinary woman, he could politely decline the invitation even if he received the invitation. However, the bride of the Kuang Tianjing's second disciple wasn't an ordinary woman, but the biological daughter of one of the Tianlong clan's vice sect leaders. If he declined, the Kuang Tianjing would casually mention it in front of the vice sect leader, and the vice sect leader would definitely remember him. This wouldn't be good for him or the Linghu family. Perhaps it was because of this that the originally neutral vice sect leader was willing to openly side with the myriad demon sect and oppose the Linghu family. After Linghu Renjie's departure, Duan Lingtian prepared for a few more days before leaving the Linghu family as well. However, he didn't alert anyone when he left the Linghu family. Even the steward, Wang Fu, and the group of servant girls and servants in his mansion didn't notice that he had left. He'd teleported away. Because he had the Linghu family's identity medallion, the Linghu family's protective formation didn't target or reject Duan Lingtian. Duan Lingtian could teleport anywhere he wanted. After a few teleportations, Duan Lingtian left the Linghu family and appeared in a remote alley in the eastern district of Linghu City. After arriving in this small alley, he wasn't in a hurry to leave. Instead, he stopped and waited for a while. Although it was impossible for the Tianlong clan's clan master, Kuang Tianjing, to guard him here, he still had to be wary of the Hidden Fog sect's people nearby. Although the Hidden Fog sect had publicly stated that they wouldn't oppose him anymore, as the saying went, caution is the parent of safety. Being a little more careful wasn't a bad thing. After waiting for about a quarter of an hour and confirming that no one was spying on him, Duan Lingtian teleported again and left, appearing in another part of Linghu City. Then, after several more teleportations, he left Linghu City. And after Duan Lingtian left the city, within the Linghu family's mansion, the Linghu family's elder who was in charge of overseeing one of the protective formations discovered the fluctuations caused by Duan Lingtian's teleportation. For a time, he abided by the Linghu family's rules and glanced at the mirror image that caused the array formation to fluctuate. He saw a purple-clothed youth appear in the mirror image. Isn't that exalted elder Duan? The Linghu family elder's expression changed slightly. He immediately sent a message to the person in charge above him, a core elder of the Linghu family, informing him of this matter. As early as Duan Lingtian had arrived at the Linghu family, the head of the Linghu family had told him that he had to pay attention to Duan Lingtian's whereabouts at all times. He couldn't allow Duan Lingtian to leave the Linghu family mansion alone for fear of danger. He had always kept this in mind and even ordered the elders on duty to pay attention to this point. However, for over 2 years, exalted elder Duan had allowed them to be at ease. He had never left the Linghu family mansion. Until today. Exalted elder Duan teleported away from the Linghu family? When the head of the Linghu family, Linghu Renjie, received the message, he was sitting on a flying ship heading towards the Tianlong temple. He was almost there. Chapter 3761. After Linghu Renjie received the news, he immediately sent a message to Duan Lingtian, asking him why he left the family mansion. Didn't he know that it was dangerous outside? Have you forgotten the killing intent that the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder Kuang Tianjing displayed in front of you? What if he had someone in Linghu City waiting for you to come out of the mansion? Moreover, although the Hidden Fog sect has stated that they will no longer oppose you, who knows whether or not Old Man Wind and Old Man Thunder will act against you in secret. Linghu Renjie's message expressed his concern for Duan Lingtian. And far away in Linghu City, Duan Lingtian received a series of messages from Linghu Renjie. He was naturally moved. Patriarch, don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Nothing will happen. Once Patriarch returns, I might be able to give you a pleasant surprise. Duan Lingtian replied with a sound transmission. In truth, when Linghu Renjie saw that Duan Lingtian's soul bead was safe and sound, he knew that Duan Lingtian was safe for the time being. After receiving Duan Lingtian's message, he confirmed that Duan Lingtian hadn't been ambushed. For a time, Linghu Renjie relaxed. Don't do it again. Linghu Renjie pretended to be solemn as he warned Duan Lingtian. At the same time, he secretly wiped away his cold sweat. He had placed great hopes on Duan Lingtian. He was absolutely unwilling to see anything happen to Duan Lingtian. Moreover, even if he didn't care about this, after interacting with Duan Lingtian for over 2 years, he had a good impression of this young man who clearly distinguished kindness and grudges. If it weren't for the fact that Duan Lingtian's talent was so amazing that he felt he couldn't compare to him, he would have even considered adopting him as his adopted son. If your so-called pleasant surprise is something you risked leaving the mansion to bring back for me, then I, Linghu Renjie, would rather not have it. Finally, Linghu Renjie added another sentence. Hearing Linghu Renjie's words, Duan Lingtian was moved once more. He couldn't help but bitterly smile. He could hear that the Linghu family's patriarch truly cared about him. Linghu family, today you took me, Duan Lingtian, into your humble days. In the future, when I, Duan Lingtian, shine, I will not let you down. This was the promise that Duan Lingtian made to the entire Linghu family. On the other hand, after Linghu Renjie greeted Duan Lingtian, he also sent a message back to the Linghu clan. He told the core elder who sent the message to him to ignore this matter. Duan Lingtian would return by himself. At the same time, Linghu Renjia hesitated for a moment. Then he sent a message to Linghu Huan of the Linghu family. Elder Huan, do you plan on going into seclusion soon? No. Linghu Huan quickly responded. What is it? Is something the matter? Actually, it's nothing much. Linghu Renjia said. Duan Lingtian ran out by himself. He didn't even tell me. Who is it? Before Linghu Renjia could continue, Linghu Huan interrupted Linghu Renjia's message. His tone was urgent. That brat ran out. Didn't my brother and I waste our efforts in bringing him back from the hidden fog sect? How can he face my brother and me by doing this? Where is he now? Is he still alive? If he's dead, then wouldn't my brother and I have wasted our efforts? Linghu Huan's words were filled with excitement and disappointment. If someone could see him now, they would see that his chubby face was constantly twitching and his small eyes were narrowed so much that they couldn't be seen. Elder Huan, don't be so excited. Linghu Renjia quickly said, I just sent a message to Duan Lingtian. He's fine right now. I sent you a message mainly because I hope that you can help him when he returns. You don't have his soul bead, so you can't contact him. You can contact him through me. I'll give him a heads up as well. Linghu Renjia spoke of his plans. Now, since Duan Lingtian was still fine even after leaving the Linghu family's mansion, it meant that he had left in secret and no one was watching him. Of course, it was also possible that no one was watching Duan Lingtian. However, just in case, he still planned to contact Linghu Huan and have Linghu Huan meet Duan Lingtian outside Linghu City in advance when Duan Lingtian returned. Hurry up and ask him where he is. Tell him to wait for me there. My brother and I will go find him. What a troublesome little bastard. Linghu Huan simply sent a message. I'll ask him. When Linghu Renjia sent another message to Duan Lingtian and explained the situation, Duan Lingtian's first reaction was to refuse. Patriarch, there's no need to go through so much trouble. I can return safely. There's really no need to trouble Grand Elders Hang and Huan. What a joke. He had left his home, in order to deceive others and find a secluded place to refine his Limit King level divine pill. That way, even if the pill tribulation appeared, no one would know. If the Hang and Huan elders followed him, wouldn't he have made a wasted trip? Although it wasn't that he didn't trust them, he still felt that the fewer people who knew about this, the better. At the very least, he didn't plan to let anyone else know about this. However, his refusal didn't have much of an effect in the end. Linghu Renjia had his own bottom line. When you return, just before you reach Linghu City, send me a message and I'll have the 2 Grand Elders come out to pick you up. Don't come back alone. You might have been careless when you went out, so no one noticed you. There's still a certain amount of risk when you come back. Duan Lingtian thought about Linghu Renjia's bottom line for a moment. It wouldn't affect what he was going to do this time, so he agreed. It could be said that he had accepted Linghu Renjia's favor. Be careful. Send me a message if anything happens. Linghu Renjia reminded him one last time before putting away the message. Duan Lingtian bitterly smiled, but his heart felt even warmer. This was the first time someone cared about him like this since he came to the Mystic Handle Land. Perhaps he could add another sentence. Besides the Hidden Fog Sect's inner sect disciple, Tang Wuyin. In the past 2 years, Wu Feng had sent him messages from time to time. Most of the time, Wu Feng talked to him about what the Hidden Fog Sect's inner sect elder, Elder Tang Chun, said. From Elder Tang Chun's chatter, Wu Feng heard a lot about how Tang Wuyin cared about him before and after he left. When he left the Hidden Fog Sect and was deemed a traitor by the sect, Tang Wuyin was so angry that she shut herself in. It wasn't until the Hidden Fog Sect's sect master personally issued an order to refute the rumors that Tang Wuyin walked out of her room under Tang Chun's comfort. She had lost a lot of weight. I can't see her again in the future. At that time, Duan Lingtian made up his mind. He couldn't let Tang Wuyin sink deeper and deeper. Now, in addition to his 2 wives Ke and Li Fei, he also had 2 close female friends, Feng Tianwu and Huana. In addition, Murong Bing was still in the spirit overarching heaven, waiting for him to pick her up a few hundred years later. I'd better find a place to refine pills quickly. Because of Linghu Renjia's concern for him, Duan Lingtian thought of Tang Wuyin. However, he quickly came back to his senses and began to leave Linghu City, looking for a secluded place in the surrounding area. In the end, he entered a desolate mountain range. Not only was there no one, but there weren't even many demon beasts. Let's do it here. Duan Lingtian circled around. After confirming that no one would notice anything strange about this place, he went to a canyon in the mountain range and took out the divine artifact pill cauldron to refine pills. Earth King Divine Pill. Following that, Duan Tian began to refine a divine pill called the Earth King Divine Pill. This divine pill was one of the king-grade pills he had taken to raise his cultivation base in the Linghu family. However, a normal Earth King Dan was no longer of any help to his cultivation. Because he had eaten too much, his body had developed a resistance to the medicine. Back when he was in the Linghu family, he was already very proficient in refining Earth King divine pills. He even dared to say that his success rate was 100%. However, since he wanted to keep a low profile, he did not dare to infuse too much life energy into the last step of the purification process. However, he no longer had to worry about that now. I'll try not using the life energy from my little world. After taking a deep breath, Duan Tian began to extract life energy from the heaven and earth spirit energy. However, he soon discovered that the amount of life energy he could extract from the heaven and earth spirit energy was very little. Even if he extracted all of it, it would not be as much as the life energy he extracted from the Linghu family. It's because of the heaven and earth spirit energy. Duan Tian quickly thought of this problem. It was precisely because the heaven and earth spirit energy here was not as good as the Linghu families that the amount of life energy in the heaven and earth spirit energy was very little. Beneath the Linghu family's residence was a rich vein of divine stones. Coupled with the spirit gathering formation, the heaven and earth spirit energy here was far from what this desolate wilderness could compare to. It seems that I can only use the life energy from my little world. With a thought, Duan Tian began to mobilize the life energy in his little world. He could even directly mobilize it from the Tree of Life without drawing from the heaven and earth spirit energy. Moreover, the life energy directly mobilized from the Tree of Life was much purer. Purification. Duan Tian began to use the life energy to carry out the last step of refining pills, purification. The life energy poured into the cauldron as if it was free. When it reached the limit, Duan Tian withdrew the life energy. With the Tree of Life he could do whatever he wanted. He did not lack life energy at all. The divine pill is about to come out of the furnace. I wonder if it's an ultimate divine pill. Under Duan Tian's expectant gaze, he slapped the cauldron, and a divine pill flew out and into his hand. Most of the divine pills above the king grade could only produce one pill per cauldron. This was the case for the Earth King divine pill. It's different. Duan Tian took a look at the divine pill in his hand and realized that it was different from the Earth King divine pills he usually refined. There was a strange light surrounding it. Boom. Rumble. When the pill tribulation appeared, the Earth King divine pill in his hand soared into the sky. Duan Tian smiled. Another ultimate divine pill had come from his hands. Moreover, it was an ultimate king-grade divine pill this time. However, Duan Tian's smile didn't last long before it collapsed. This was because the ultimate Earth King divine pill could not even withstand the first pill tribulation and was blasted into powder. Chapter 3762. Crippled. Duan Tian was dumbfounded as he watched the ultimate Earth King divine pill being destroyed by the tribulation. However, his face was immediately filled with confusion. When the tribulation clouds dispersed, he started to refine the Earth King divine pill again. This time he was even more careful, afraid that the pill would be destroyed again. This time it was still the ultimate Earth King divine pill. However, it was still destroyed when the tribulation descended. Then a third time. It was still destroyed by the tribulation. What's going on? What went wrong? After racking his brains, Duan Tian felt that there was no problem with his alchemy steps and techniques. Normally speaking, it was impossible for the Earth King divine pill to not be able to withstand the tribulation. Ask revered Elder Lin Yen. Taking a deep breath, Duan Tian sent a message to the chief alchemist of the Linghu family, Lin Yen, and asked directly, Revered Elder Lin Yen, I've refined a few ultimate spirit-level divine pills outside, but they all failed to pass the tribulation. What's going on? There can't be a mistake in the alchemy process and steps. Duan Tian added as he reached the end of his sentence. You left the Linghu family mansion? After knowing that Duan Tian was outside, Lin Yen was worried about his safety. As a good friend of Linghu Renjia, he had long heard about Duan Tian's current situation from Linghu Renjia. However, after hearing Duan Tian say that he was safe, he finally heaved a sigh of relief. At the same time he expressed his opinion, I'm very clear about your alchemy skills. There shouldn't be a mistake in refining the king-level divine pill. And you said it yourself, there's no problem with the alchemy process and steps. Could there be some external reason? Lin Yan guessed. What external reason? Duan Lingtian asked. The so-called external factors are whether or not the divine artifact pill cauldron is in good condition, and whether or not there will be any problems. Then it's nothing more than your state of mind, whether or not you can calm down to concoct pills. If your state of mind is different, there may be a trace of distraction that you don't even notice, which will affect your concoction. Of course, it's impossible to have a big impact, but there are still subtle effects. That kind of effect is often something that you can't even notice yourself. However, just because you can't detect it doesn't mean that the pill tribulation can't detect it either. Lin Yan reminded him, think about it carefully. Is there something wrong with the cauldron? Or is it because of your state of mind? Upon hearing Lin Yan's reminder, Duan Lingtian smiled bitterly in his heart. However, he was still a little unwilling to give up as he inspected the divine artifact pill cauldron before him. However, after a round of inspection, the pill cauldron was safe and sound. It seems that there is indeed a problem with my mental state. Duan Lingtian smiled bitterly and sighed. Just now, when he thought of Tang Huiyin, his wife and his lover, he subconsciously thought of the two of them. However, he suppressed the thought after a flash of inspiration. After all, he wanted to avoid this matter. Previously, when they were still in the mundane realm, before Yun Qingyan, Ker's cousin from her past life, appeared, Duan Lingtian and Ker had been searching for his parents, wife and children. Halfway through their search, Yun Qingyan had appeared and used a spatial celestial weapon to imprison his parents, wife and children. Yun Qingyan had found his parents, wife and children first. At that time, 2 people were missing from the group of people Yun Qingyan had imprisoned. Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao. When Duan Lingtian met his parents in the Devata realm, he had secretly learned from them that Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao were out patrolling the area, so they were not captured by Yun Qingyan. In other words, Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao were still in the Devata realm and the Saint Province realm. As for the Saint Province realm, it was once massacred by the heavenly emperor of the Luo River Heaven, Situ Zhuqing. At that time, Duan Lingtian had searched everywhere for Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao, but he could not find them. Since they were always by his mother's side and rarely went out, they did not leave their soul pearls behind. He did not know if they were still alive. There was no trace of them at all. Under such circumstances, even the most optimistic person could not help but think about them. I hope they're still alive, Duan Lingtian sighed. Earlier he had thought of the 2 women, but he had forcefully stopped himself from thinking about them. Due to this reason, it had affected his state of mind to a certain extent. This was most likely the reason the Earth King Supreme Pills had failed to overcome the heavenly tribulation. At this moment, Duan Lingtian could not help but recall the time when he had reunited with the 2 women in the Azure Cloud Mansion in the Saint Province realm. That was the last time he had seen the 2 women. Before he left the Saint Province realm, he had visited various powerful forces in the Saint Province realm and asked them to help him find the 2 women. If they found the 2 women, he would give them a fortuitous encounter. For this reason, the powerful forces in the Saint Province realm that were not annihilated by the powerhouses of the Luo River sect had sent people to search for Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao's whereabouts. Apart from that, Duan Lingtian had also asked Hua Lao to arrange for someone to guard the Saint Province realm. As long as there was news about the 2 women, that person would immediately send a message to Hua Lao in the solitary destructive heaven. At that time, Hua Lao would go and pick them up and settle them down. As long as they're still alive and in the Saint Province realm, I'll definitely be able to find them. After a few hundred years, when the spatial tunnel between the Devata realms and the realms of gods opens, I'll return to the Devata realms and ask Hua Lao about this matter. Perhaps Hua Lao would have already found them by then. When Duan Lingtian thought of this, his restless emotions began to calm down. After a long while, his heart finally calmed down. Again. After taking a deep breath, Duan Lingtian began to refine the Earth King Divine Pill again. He was very careful throughout the entire process. He did not dare to be careless. In the end, he refined the Limit Earth King Divine Pill again. Boom. The pill tribulation descended. This time, the Earth King Divine Pill successfully passed the pill tribulation. Its body shone brightly, and the inscriptions on its body shone brightly. It's done. A smile appeared on Duan Lingtian's face when he saw the Limit Earth King Divine Pill was successfully refined. Following that, Duan Lingtian refined a few other King-grade Divine Pills that were helpful to his cultivation. All of them were refined to the Limit Earth King Divine Pill, and he successfully passed the pill tribulation. Fortunately, he was the only one who saw his heaven-defying performance. Otherwise, everyone in Tunglung province would have been shocked. A Limit King grade divine pill. Other than those outstanding Emperor grade divine pill masters, it was basically impossible to refine such a divine pill in an environment rich in heaven and earth spirit qi. Just like Duan Lingtian's current environment, not to mention the outstanding Emperor grade divine pill masters, even if a venerable grade divine pill master came, it would be useless. It was impossible for them to refine a Limit King grade divine pill. They couldn't even refine a Limit Spirit grade divine pill. This was because the heaven and earth spirit qi here was too thin, and the heaven and earth spirit qi contained more life force that could be extracted by divine pill masters in places with more abundant heaven and earth spirit qi. The reason why Duan Lingtian was able to refine a Limit King grade divine pill here was because of the life force that originated from the tree of life in his small world. Otherwise, no matter how astonishing his perception of the life force in the heaven and earth spirit qi was, it would be difficult for him to extract enough life force. There was only a little bit in total. Even if he extracted all of it, it wouldn't be enough. As for the Emperor grade divine pill, let's forget about it for now. For a moment, Duan Lingtian even had the thought of refining a Limit King grade divine pill, but he quickly dismissed the idea. This was because he couldn't even refine an ordinary Emperor grade divine pill with a 100% success rate. There were still some flaws in the refining process. Even if he didn't lack life force, it would be difficult to refine a Limit King grade divine pill. I'll refine a few more Limit King grade divine pills. The medicinal efficacy of a Limit King grade divine pill is far beyond that of an ordinary divine pill. This was also the reason why Duan Lingtian felt that a Limit King grade divine pill could assist his current cultivation. The medicinal efficacy of a Limit King grade divine pill was not something an ordinary divine pill could compare to. If they were to really compare, it could be said that the difference was like heaven and earth. Take the Limit King grade Jia and Bing grade 3 divine pill that Duan Lingtian had refined previously. If it was an ordinary Jia and Bing grade 3 divine pill, it would be very difficult for a lesser deity to directly ascend to become an intermediate deity just by relying on the medicinal efficacy of the King grade 3 divine pill. However, the Limit King grade Jia and Bing grade 3 divine pill that Duan Lingtian had refined allowed a disciple who had only cultivated the Linghu family's godly emperor level cultivation method to break through to become a higher deity from the realm of an intermediate deity. Moreover, there was still a lot of medicinal efficacy left for him to continue cultivating. One must know that an intermediate deity who consumed an ordinary Jia and Bing grade 3 divine pill would not be able to break through to become a higher deity just by relying on the medicinal efficacy of the pill, unless they cultivated a godly emperor-level cultivation method. Even if a lesser deity who had just become an intermediate deity consumed the pill, they would need to cultivate at least an emperor-level cultivation method to break through to become an intermediate deity just by relying on the medicinal efficacy. A godly emperor-level cultivation method? It did not show the astonishing medicinal efficacy of an ordinary Jia and Bing grade 3 divine pill. However, the Limit King grade Jia and Bing grade 3 divine pill that Duan Lingtian had refined allowed a person who had only just become an intermediate deity to break through to become a higher deity. According to the disciple of the Linghu family, almost half of the medicinal efficacy had not been digested after the breakthrough. This showed how heaven-defying the medicinal efficacy of the Limit King grade divine pill was. After I'm done refining the Limit King grade divine pill that I need, I'll refine a few more emperor-level divine pills. I'll give them to the patriarch when he returns. Duan Lingtian thought to himself as he immersed himself in pill refinement again. After all, there were only 18 realms of gods in this world. Both the Divine Offering Land and the Mystic Gangland were among them. Among the 18 realms of gods, there was a realm of gods called the Heavenly Clear Land. The two women that Duan Lingtian had been searching for in the Saint Province realm, Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao, were among them. As for why they were here, it had something to do with an old friend of theirs. That old friend was also Duan Lingtian's old friend, Jianghu. She was the housekeeper that Duan Lingtian had recruited in the Crimson Sky Kingdom's royal city before he left the 10 great dynasties in the Saint Province realm. Later on, Duan Lingtian's father, Duan Ruffing, returned to the Crimson Sky Kingdom and brought Li Ro with him. Apart from Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao, Jianghu was also brought along. However, when Duan Lingtian reunited with his parents, Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao, he did not see Jianghu. It was as though Jianghu had vanished from the face of the earth. He could not find her anywhere. Chapter 3763. Jianghu was originally a waitress in a shop in the Crimson Sky Kingdom, a small kingdom in the 10 great dynasties in the Saint Province realm. See Chapter 136, Recruiting Jianghu for details. On Earth, Jianghu's job was to sell real estate. Back then, when Duan Lingtian arrived in the Crimson Sky Kingdom's royal city, he had bought a mansion from Jianghu. At that time he had taught a good-for-nothing rich kid from the Duan clan a lesson because of Jianghu. Out of respect for Jianghu's character, coupled with the fact that he was worried that the good-for-nothing rich kid from the Duan clan would cause trouble for Jianghu, he had recruited her to be the housekeeper of his newly bought mansion. From then on, Jianghu began to take care of him and his mother, Li Ro. She was conscientious and conscientious. Later on, when he left the Crimson Sky Kingdom, Jianghu stayed by his mother's side and continued to serve his mother. Duan Lingtian and his mother, Li Ro, had never treated Jianghu as a servant. Duan Lingtian treated her like an elder sister while Li Ro treated her like a daughter. Later on, Duan Ruffing returned and brought Li Ro and Jianghu, who was an orphan, with him to the Azure Cloud Mansion. At that time Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao had also left with them. In the Azure Cloud Mansion, Jianghu continued to take care of Li Ro's daily life. She had never forgotten her roots. There was once when Jianghu went out to pick Li Ro's favorite vegetables in the vicinity of the Azure Cloud Mansion. However, since then she had never returned and had completely disappeared. For this reason, Li Ro did not eat or drink for a period of time. Duan Ruffing had even ordered his subordinates to look for her everywhere. However, their efforts were in vain. It was also at that time that Jianghu disappeared from Li Ro's life. Duan Lingtian only found out about this after he reunited with his parents in the Azure Cloud Mansion. He had been depressed for many days because of this. Why did Jianghu disappear? What happened to her? All of this was a mystery to Duan Lingtian from the beginning until the end. A living person had disappeared just like that. In fact, Jianghu was also anxious. She even regretted poking her nose into other people's business and touching that disheveled woman whose mental state was sometimes normal and sometimes abnormal. That year, when Jianghu went out to pick vegetables for Li Ro, she happened to see a woman fainted on the ground. She kindly helped her up and woke her up. After the woman woke up, she grinned at her like a fool. Then, with a wave of her hand, she tore open space and grabbed her into the spatial tunnel. She fainted as well. When she woke up again, she found herself in another place. This place was filled with heaven and earth spirit chi. It was frighteningly dense. She cultivated here and broke through several realms in less than a month. Then she saw the crazy woman she had met before. This time she wasn't crazy. She found Jianghu and apologized to her. Then Jianghu asked her to send her back, but she said she couldn't do anything. Her power was sealed. She could only use her powers when she was in a state of mental disorder. In order to apologize to Jianghu, she taught her a cultivation method and gave her a fortuitous encounter. Then she told Jianghu that not only was she not in the mundane realm, but she was in a realm of gods that was superior to the Devata realms. This realm of gods was called the Land of Sanctions. 2 days later, the woman fell into a state of insanity again. However, since Jianghu was with her, she did not run away. Many years later, Jianghu's cultivation had improved. After spending some time together and taking care of her, the woman gradually regained her senses, and the seal in her body gradually disappeared. Soon after, the woman regained her consciousness and was able to use her power. At this time, Jianghu said she wanted to go back. The woman sent her back. After Jianghu was sent back to the Azure Cloud Mansion by the woman, she discovered the Azure Cloud Mansion had fallen into the hands of the devil clans. Then she went around looking for Li Ro with the woman. Finally, with the woman's help, she found the new place where Li Ro and the others were staying. She even met Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao, who were patrolling the area. Sister Jianghu? Lin Lan and Princess Bai Yao were, naturally, overjoyed when they saw Jianghu, whom they had not seen for many years. Sister Jianghu, where have you been all these years? Yes, Sister Jianghu, where have you been all those years ago? Do you know that Aunt Ro lost her appetite for a long time because of your disappearance? Let's go. I'll bring you to see Aunt Ro. She'll be happy to see you. As Lin Lan spoke, she wanted to bring Jianghu to see Li Ro. At this moment, an invisible energy suddenly spread out and shrouded Lin Lan, Princess Bai Yao and Jianghu. It was the woman next to Jianghu. She looked at the sky and frowned. Someone from the realm of gods actually came to this small mundane realm? Then the woman took Lin Lan, Princess Bai Yao and Jianghu and approached. When the woman saw the appearance of the young man who had descended from the sky, she was stunned. It was as though she had seen a ghost. She muttered to herself, "Why is it him? Why is it him?" At the same time, Lin Lan, Princess Bai Yao, and Jianghu saw the young man who had descended from the sky and bound Duan Ruffing, Li Ro, and the others with just a wave of his hand. Princess Bai Yao and Lin Lan's expressions changed drastically. They instinctively rushed forward, but they were stopped by the woman's invisible energy. Jianghu's expression changed as well. She quickly asked the woman to save them. Who knew the woman would fall into a state of madness again? She casually tore open space and brought the three women away. This time, the woman did not bring the three women to the land of punishment where she had brought Jianghu to previously. It was another realm of gods, the heavenly clear land. When the woman returned to her normal state, the realms of gods had collided and formed the realm of gods. At the same time, the space tunnels leading to the Devata realms and realms of gods had been sealed. As a result, Bai Yao, Lin Lan, and Jianghu could no longer return to the Saint Province realm. The woman seemed to have returned to her normal state. She felt guilty for what she had done to the three women. Therefore, she began to teach them the cultivation methods of the realms of gods. She spared no effort in teaching them cultivation methods. Later on, Bai Yao inadvertently asked the woman if she knew the young man who had kidnapped her Aunt Ro, Uncle Ru Feng, and the others. The woman fell into a state of madness again. It took a few years for her to return to her normal state. From then on, Bai Yao, Lin Lan, and Jianghu did not dare to bring up the matter again. After some hesitation, the woman brought Bai Yao, Lin Lan, and Jianghu to a sect in the heavenly clear land. The sect was a godly venerable rank sect. It was one of the top godly venerable rank sects in the heavenly clear land. The woman brought Bai Yao, Lin Lan, and Jianghu to one of the branches of the sect. The woman then handed them over to the person in charge of the branch, a female powerhouse. After that, she left the sect. She was my junior sister. She fell in love with someone she shouldn't have and was cheated of her feelings. She did something that brought shame to the sect and went insane. Then she left the sect. Bai Yao, Lin Lan, and Jianghu learned about this from their master. Their master was the person whom the woman had handed them over to. She was the person in charge of the branch they were in. Moreover, during a conversation with their master, they learned that the person who had cheated on their junior sister was from another realm of gods, the Divine Offering Land. Currently, that person was the leader of one of the strongest godly venerable rank forces in the Divine Offering Land. The clan leader of the Yun clan. In the heavenly clear land. In a secluded courtyard on the side of a perilous peak that pierced through the clouds, three beautiful women sat around a table. One of the women was extremely beautiful. Her face was so beautiful that it was difficult to find any flaw in it. Most men would take a second look at her after just one glance. The other woman was almost as beautiful as the former. However, she was of a different type. Her eyes were as clear as autumn water, and her lips were like cherries. The last woman was slightly less beautiful, but she was still considered pretty. If she was placed on Earth in Duan Lingtian's previous life, she would not be one of those A-list actresses who debuted with her looks. Most importantly, her temperament was not something those A-list actresses could compare to. She was extraordinary and did not seem like an ordinary person. If Duan Lingtian was here, he would be able to recognize the three women at a glance. They were Bai Yao, Lin Lan, and Jianghu. Princess, I feel that your aura has changed. Did you have a breakthrough again? Jianghu looked at Bai Yao with a hint of surprise in her eyes. Sister Jianghu. Bai Yao smiled bitterly. How many times have I told you in the past hundreds of years? You don't have to call me princess anymore. This is no longer the Crimson Sky Kingdom. You can call me Bai Yao like Little Lan. Yes, princess. Jianghu's reply made Bai Yao feel completely helpless. Bai Yao, Sister Jianghu hasn't changed the way she calls you in the past hundreds of years. Don't ask her to change it again. To be honest, if I didn't hear her calling you princess so often, I might even think that our experiences in the past hundreds of years were not a dream. Could it be that everything in the mundane realm was a dream? Lin Lan sighed. The mundane realm. Bai Yao muttered. Bai Yao murmured softly. Her pair of beautiful watery eyes flashed with a touch of gentleness. I don't know how he is now. At this moment, not only Bai Yao but even Lin Lan could not help but think of a purple figure. He wasn't with Aunt Ro and Uncle Feng at that time. I'm sure he'll be fine. Lin Lan's voice was slightly heavy. I wonder how Aunt Ro and Uncle Feng are doing. Before Junior Uncle met the person who kidnapped the old master and madam, he said that person was also from the realm of gods? Jianghu frowned slightly. Why would someone from the realm of gods make a move on the old master and madam? These are all mysteries that we haven't been able to solve in the past hundreds of years. Bai Yao shook her head lightly. We can only wait 300 years until the spatial tunnel between the realm of gods, the Devata realms, and the mundane realm opens. At that time, we'll be able to find the answers on our own. For now, I can only hope that Aunt Ro and Uncle Feng are safe. Otherwise, I can't imagine how much pain he must be in. Lin Lan muttered in a low voice with a worried expression on her face. Bai Yao's beautiful face tensed up when she heard Lin Lan's words. The worry in her eyes deepened. Chapter 3764. Profound Handle Land. Tonglung Province. Near Linghu City. Within the lofty mountain range, after Duan Lingtian finished refining the Limit King-level divine pills he needed, he began to refine the Emperor-level divine pills he had been preparing for a long time. Some of them would be of great use to him. Some of them were for the Linghu family's patriarch, Linghu Renjia. The Emperor-level divine pills for Linghu Renjia were the ones that even the Linghu family's chief alchemist, Lin Yen, had trouble refining. The success rate was extremely low. Duan Lingtian was refining seriously. Although he wasn't too familiar with the process, because he could inject a large amount of life force into the pill furnace to purify the pills, his success rate was still higher than Lin Yan's. I'll refine 2 more Emperor-level divine pills for the Patriarch. That should be enough. After spending a few days, Duan Lingtian refined 3 Emperor-level divine pills for Linghu Renjia. He failed several times, but overall it could be said that everything went smoothly. He planned to refine 2 more Emperor-level divine pills before returning to the Linghu family. But just as he was about to open the furnace again, a message suddenly came, abruptly interrupting him. Duan Lingtian. The person who sent the message surprised Duan Lingtian. It was the 10-star student of the Hidden Fog Academy, Ho Qingning, who he hadn't contacted for a long time. Why did you suddenly send me a message? Is something the matter? Or, were you also recommended to enter the Hidden Fog sect by the Dean? Duan Lingtian asked with a smile. Ho Qingning and Ding Yen were friends he made at Wind City's Hidden Fog Academy. Now that Ding Yen had left without saying goodbye, only Ho Qingning was left at the Hidden Fog Academy. Are you kidding me? Ho Qingning sighed and said, do you think everyone is Duan Lingtian? If it weren't for the fact that the 10,000 Leaves sect sent me to Linghu City, I wouldn't have dared to send you a message. You're standing so high up now that I can't even breathe when I look up at you. You Ho Qingning, when did you become so self-abased? I remember that you still owe me a spar. Duan Lingtian laughed and then asked in surprise, you came to Linghu City? Yes. Ho Qingning nodded. After pondering for a moment he said, back then before the 10-star student trial began, you said that you would treat me and my 10,000 Leaves sect to a meal, but you never did. This time I'm already in Linghu City, so you won't be stingy, right? In Linghu City, Ho Qingning stood in a guest room of an inn. Beside him stood a person covered in a black robe. Ho Qingning's message was made public at the black-robed person's request. Duan Lingtian's soul orb was also in the black-robed person's hands. Whether it was Ho Qingning's voice or Duan Lingtian's voice, he could hear them clearly. However, the black-robed person did not suspect Ho Qingning when he heard these words. After all, in his opinion, Ho Qingning had the 10,000 Leaves sect behind him. The entire sect was under his threat, so Ho Qingning definitely would not dare to act rashly. At the same time, Duan Lingtian, who received Ho Qingning's message, was stunned. Back then, during the 10-star student trial, he did not say that he would treat Ho Qingning to a meal. Could this guy have remembered wrongly? However, on second thought, he felt that Ho Qingning should not have remembered something like this wrongly. Moreover, Ho Qingning said that he would not only treat him to a meal, but also treat the people of their 10,000 Leaves sect? 10,000 Leaves sect. The 10-star student trial. At this moment, Duan Lingtian finally reacted. Back then, during the 10-star student trial, Ho Qingning had asked him if he needed help. The people of their 10,000 Leaves sect were nearby, ready to act at any time. The reason Ho Qingning said that he would help him was because there would definitely be people from Tianfeng City's God King level clans targeting him in the trial. At that time, he had rejected Ho Qingning's good intentions. It looks like he's reminding me of something. Moreover, the 10,000 Leaves sect behind him is only a God King level sect. What is it that would require a young sect master like him to travel so far to Linghu City? Duan Lingtian's mind flashed and he quickly thought of a possibility. Ho Qingning had become a tool in someone else's hands. Someone wanted to lure him away from the Linghu family. Patriarch left the Linghu family a few days ago. After Patriarch left, Ho Qingning came, and it seems like he was coerced by someone to lure him away. It looks like the person who coerced Ho Qingning is very likely someone that the Tianlong clan's inner sect elder Kuang Tianjing found. Kuang Tianjing definitely can't be here recently, but he can definitely find someone. In an instant, Duan Ling Tian understood everything. As for why Ho Qingning was coerced, it was not difficult for him to guess. It was most likely because the other party had used the 10,000 Leaves sect as an excuse. Although the 10,000 Leaves sect was a God King level sect, the strongest person in the sect was only a God King. Moreover, there had never been a God King level expert in the history of the 10,000 Leaves sect. For a sect like the 10,000 Leaves sect, as long as a lower God King level expert wasn't ridiculously weak, it would be enough to topple and even destroy the sect. He's already fallen into such a dangerous situation and he's still thinking of ways to hint at me, this guy. Duan Ling Tian smiled bitterly in his heart, but at the same time he felt somewhat guilty. After all, if it weren't for him, Ho Qingning wouldn't have fallen into such a predicament. Let's set a place. Just as Ho Qingning's side quieted down because Duan Ling Tian had not replied for a long time, and the black-robed man's body moved slightly, as if he was getting impatient, Duan Ling Tian's voice finally rang out once more. You can decide on the place. As for the time. For the next 2 days, a grand elder of the Linghu family asked me to help him refine a few divine pills so I can't leave. 2 days later? When will you be free? Duan Ling Tian asked. After receiving Duan Ling Tian's message, Ho Qingning didn't immediately reply. Instead, he looked at the black-robed man and asked, when do you want to meet him? 3 days from now in the evening. Let's meet for dinner. The black-robed man's hoarse voice sounded in Ho Qingning's ears, and Ho Qingning also responded to Duan Ling Tian. Duan Ling Tian, let's meet 3 days from now. We'll have dinner together then. I'm afraid I won't be able to leave during the day. As for the location, when you come out, ask me again and I'll tell you. Right now, I don't know where to meet. Under the black-robed man's reminder, Ho Qingning said according to his words. Okay. Duan Ling Tian replied, then sent a message to the Linghu family's patriarch, Linghu Renjia, and told him what he had encountered. Someone threatened your friend and asked your friend to lure you out? After Linghu Renjia learned of this matter, his expression changed. After asking about the ins and outs of the matter, Linghu Renjia said in a deep voice, 10,000 Leaves sect, I've heard of it before. The 10,000 Leaves sect is located between the God Emperor level sect, the Hidden Fog sect, and the Murong family, the Murong family. It just so happens that the patriarch of the Murong family has some friendship with me, so I asked him to invite the strongest elders of the Murong family to the 10,000 Leaves sect to take a look at the situation. Many thanks, patriarch. After receiving Linghu Renjia's message, Duan Ling Tian repeatedly expressed his thanks. At the same time, he thought that the favor Linghu Renjia owed the Murong family could be repaid with ultimate God pills. Patriarch, you can promise the Murong family to give them a batch of ultimate God pills. I'm sure they know how important these pills are to their juniors. You can tell them about the effects of our Linghu family's juniors taking the ultimate God pills. Duan Ling Tian said. Are you confident that you can refine more Jia Bing San divine pills? Linghu Renjia asked. Yes. Duan Ling Tian replied, it's only because I've been busy refining king-grade divine pills and royal-grade divine pills. Otherwise, I would have refined a lot of extreme first, second, and third divine pills for the clan leader and the juniors in the clan. Aye, good. With this trump card, I'm sure that Murong Yunlu fellow will work hard for us. Linghu Renjia laughed, I'll contact him right away. Murong Yunlu was the current patriarch of the Murong family. He and Linghu Renjia were both patriarchs of God Emperor level families, and the two had a good relationship. Good. Duan Ling Tian's eyes flashed. Murong family, a God Emperor level family? At this moment he thought of Wind City's Hidden Fog Academy's dean, who was also the Hidden Fog sect's vice-sect master, Murong Sui Feng. Could that Dean Murong also be related to the Murong family? Of course, this was only Duan Ling Tian's first guess. Soon, Linghu Renjia sent a message. I spoke to Murong Yunlu and he agreed. Now he has personally left for the 10,000 Leaves sect. There are also 2 Murong family elders accompanying him. Their strength is not below any of the 4 grand elders of the Hidden Fog sect. As for how many extreme Jia Bing San divine pills I want, I've already told him clearly. We'll see how much effort they put in when the time comes. You don't have to worry about that. I won't give him the chance to ask for too much. Linghu Renjia said. Thank you, Patriarch. At this moment, Duan Ling Tian finally let out a sigh of relief. Ho Qingning had risked his life to warn him. Not only had he put his own life on the line, but he had also put the 10,000 Leaves sect behind him in danger. He naturally couldn't allow anything to happen to Ho Qingning and the 10,000 Leaves sect. But, Linghu Renjie said with some worry, if the person threatening your friend was sent by Kuang Tianjing, and there's more than one person, the one following your friend now must be the strongest one. If it's just the elders of our Linghu family, I'm still worried. How about this? I'll have the elders contact their friends. As long as they can reach Linghu City within 2 days, they can come over. When the time comes, we'll see how much effort they've put in. We'll use the ultimate Jia and Bing 3 divine pills to return the favor. It doesn't matter if there are any juniors. Even if they can't use the Jia and Bing 3 divine pills, they'll definitely be interested. Linghu Renjie said. That's for the best. In truth, Duan Ling Tian was also worried about what Linghu Renjie was worried about. If the people Kuang Tianjing found to deal with him were mid-level divine emperors on the same level as him, then once he left the Linghu family mansion, he wouldn't have the protection of the Linghu family's great array. Even if the elders of the Linghu family protected him, they might not be able to save his life. Chapter 3765. After hearing about Linghu Renjie's arrangements, Duan Ling Tian finally felt relieved. In the next 2 days, while Duan Ling Tian calmly refined the emperor-grade divine pills, he couldn't help but sigh. First of all, he didn't expect to become a divine alchemist so soon. Second, he didn't expect that the most important step to becoming a divine alchemist was to extract life energy. For someone like him who had the divine tree of life in his body, this was a piece of cake. Under such circumstances, as soon as he came into contact with the Tao of divine pills, he refined the ultimate Jia Bing divine pill on his second try. According to Linghu Renjie, the clan leader of the Linghu family, the limit Jia Bing divine pill he refined was something even god emperors would be interested in. This time he could even use the limit Jia Bing divine pill to repay the favor. Initially, Duan Ling Tian was worried that the Linghu family would owe those experts a favor. If that happened, he would owe the Linghu family even more. Now he could finally breathe a sigh of relief. Being a divine alchemist is a good job in the plains of gods. Duan Ling Tian sighed. Duan Ling Tian was the only one who could hear his exclamation. If anyone else heard it, they would definitely roll their eyes at him. Do you think every divine alchemist can refine a limit spirit grade divine pill as easily as you? 2 days passed in a blink of an eye. The day passed quickly. In the evening, Duan Ling Tian took the initiative to send a message to Ho Qingning. Are you done with your work? Have you decided on a place to eat? At the same time, Duan Ling Tian's heart skipped a beat. The best restaurants in Linghu City were owned by the Linghu family. If Ho Qingning wasn't held hostage, he would have invited him to one of the restaurants owned by the Linghu family. Now that he suspected that Ho Qingning was being held hostage, he was certain that Ho Qingning wouldn't choose those restaurants. Duan Ling Tian sent a message, but there was no reply from Ho Qingning. For a moment he was even more certain that Ho Qingning was being held hostage. My soul orbs are probably in the hands of whoever is holding him hostage. Normally, a soul orb's transmission was done through one's mind. However, it was also possible to speak and transmit the message. Furthermore, the content of the message could also be transmitted outwards. It was just like the hands-free phone on Earth. The truth was just as Duan Ling Tian had guessed. Ho Qingning didn't receive his message, but the black-robed man beside Ho Qingning did. The black-robed man immediately took out a soul bead and handed it to Ho Qingning. Tell him to meet me in Spring House's Sky Room 2 in 2 hours. Upon hearing this, Ho Qingning promptly informed Duan Ling Tian of the location of the meal through the soul orb. Spring House. After receiving the message, the corners of Duan Ling Tian's lips curled into a faint smile. Just as he had thought, it wasn't one of the restaurants under the Linghu family. Although Duan Ling Tian hadn't left the Linghu family since joining them, he often chatted with Linghu Yun, the fourth son of Linghu Renjie, the head of the Linghu family. Linghu Yun had already finished reading the story that he had given to Duan Ling Tian. After that, he often asked Duan Ling Tian for other stories. At the same time, because he got along well with Duan Ling Tian, he often talked about anything under the sun with Duan Ling Tian. Because of this, although Duan Ling Tian had never strolled around Linghu City, he knew how many decent restaurants there were in Linghu City. Spring House could only be considered an ordinary restaurant. It was a subsidiary property of a God King class family in Linghu City. That God King class family was a subsidiary of the Linghu family. Spring House. Duan Ling Tian transmitted with a smile. I have already forgotten. Duan Lingtian smiled. Then Ling Hu Huan introduced the remaining 6 people to Duan Lingtian. 2 of them were also divine emperors of the Linghu family. One of them was another elder of the Linghu family and the only one in the current generation of the Linghu family who was on par with the 2 elders Hang and Huan in terms of seniority. In fact, in the Linghu family, if the 2 old men Hang and Hang did not join hands and fought one-on-one, his strength would surpass either of Linghu Hang or Linghu Hang. He was called Linghu Jingxing. Linghu Jingxing didn't look old. He was a middle-aged man wearing a loose green robe. He was tall and sturdy and had a dignified appearance. His eyebrows reached his temples and he looked a little serious. Elder Jingxing. Duan Lingtian greeted him respectfully. A rare smile appeared on the other party's serious face. It was a forced smile. However, the other party's eyes were still filled with friendliness. As for the remaining 4 people, they were all external reinforcements that Linghu Huan had found. They were the brothers' close friends in their early years. As for their specific origins, Linghu Huan didn't say much. He only mentioned their names. However, the 4 of them were all lower-level divine emperors. Spring House. After Duan Lingtian and the 9 divine emperors confirmed the location, they had agreed to meet with Ho Qingning. Linghu Jingxing led Linghu Qingze and the other 5 to the vicinity of the Spring House. The 2 elders Hang and Huan secretly followed Duan Lingtian to protect Duan Lingtian. So far, no one knew how many people the other party had. As for Duan Lingtian, he stopped and waited for over an hour after Linghu Jingxing and the others left. Then he unhurriedly stepped into the air and entered Linghu City from the eastern side of the city. The eastern gate of Linghu City was actually one of the main gates of the Linghu family's mansion. Duan Lingtian was able to enter without any hindrance. Then he passed through the Linghu family's mansion and flew out from another gate. It was as if he had just left the Linghu family's mansion. This little guy is quite cautious. Hiding behind Duan Lingtian, Linghu Huan sent a voice transmission to his twin brother Linghu Heng. He's very talented and cautious. His future is limitless. Linghu Heng replied. Hearing his twin brother's words, Linghu Huan was somewhat surprised. The reason for that was because it was the first time he had heard his twin brother praise someone in such a manner. However, when he thought of Duan Lingtian's performance, talent and comprehension ability, he felt relieved. As long as Duan Lingtian did not die prematurely in the future, not to mention the Linghu family, even the Tianlong clan, or the several peak god emperor level forces in Tunglung province would find it difficult to tolerate him. His stage should be even wider. Tunglung province was too small. Spring Gazing House. The reason why Duan Lingtian chose to pass through the Linghu family's mansion was because he was worried that there would be people guarding the Linghu family's mansion and watching the people who came out from it. If he directly returned from outside Linghu city and was discovered by the enemy's people, it would inevitably arouse their suspicions. After all, he did not tell Ho Qingning that he was not in the Linghu family. We're here. Under Linghu Huan's secret instructions, Duan Lingtian finally arrived at the entrance of a restaurant called Spring Gazing House. The door was wide open and many customers were coming in and out. The lobby inside was almost full, and there were even people sitting in a row of seats at the side of the lobby, waiting for a seat. Business was booming. Dear customer, are you here to eat? As soon as Duan Lingtian entered, a waiter came up to him and asked. My friend has booked a private room, number 2 of heaven. Duan Lingtian replied. Dear customer, may I know your name? The waiter's tone became much more respectful. The heaven-tier private room was the best private room in Spring Gazing House. The lowest cost of a single meal was equivalent to 10 years of working in Spring Gazing House. You're tuning in to the Han Lee's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.